Dragon Ball. I become a god with a supernatural comprehension at the beginning. Chapter 81. So, why are you here? Nothing much, just coming over for a walk. Whatever. But even if you are a candidate for King of Gods, it seems that you are not allowed to go to another universe at will. This is what the High Priest meant. The High Priest. Gervis was shocked when he heard this. It was difficult for him, a Kai King God, to see the High Priest. How could Roger, who was not even a formal Kai King God, actually see the High Priest? Yes. Then may I ask, what is your relationship with the High Priest? It's nothing, he's just my senior brother. What? After hearing this, Gewis was immediately shocked. The High Priest is your senior brother? Yes. Roger, come and sit down and talk. After hearing this, Kvass said to Roger in a flattering manner. Roger nodded. Seeing this, Kvass immediately took Roger to the tea table in front and sat down, and made tea for Roger. After a while, the tea was ready, and Kvass handed a cup of brewed tea to Roger. Have tea. Good. Roger heard it, immediately took the teacup and took a sip. That Roger, you said that the High Priest is your senior brother, is that true? Do you think I have any reason to lie to you? That's true. Then why did you come to the 10th universe? I want to know about your 10th universe. Understand our 10th universe? Yes. Are there any powerful guys in your 10th universe? A powerful guy? Yeah. Roger nodded. Yes, there is, but why are you asking? Because I am interested in martial arts. So that's it. After hearing this, Gervis immediately told Roger about the powerful masters in the 10th universe. By the way, Lord Gewis, have you found the next Kaioshin? Not yet, I'm just about to look for it. Really? After hearing this, Roger immediately stood up from his chair. What's wrong, Roger, are you ready to go back? Roger smiled and suddenly attacked Kvass with his fists. Because Roger's fists were too fast, Kvass was knocked unconscious before he could react. After Kvass fainted, he saw the future in his dream. This also included his next apprentice Zamasu. After an unknown period of time, Kvass woke up from his sleep and saw Roger still drinking tea. Roger, what happened just now? Why do I feel like my head hurts? I just used future sight on you. Predict the future. Yes, you should have seen your future in your dream, right? You mean, what I just dreamed about is my future? Believe it or not, the future Zamasu will kill you. Kvass was shocked. Roger, how do you know Zamasu? That guy will come to the 7th universe in the future, I also learned about it from my friend. Friend, yes, I used future sight on him too. Is that so? Roger nodded. Well, it's about time for me to leave. Are you leaving so soon? Don't sit still for a while. No, I want to go somewhere else. All right then. Seeing this, Roger teleported away from the Kaioshin realm. Zamasu. Kvass saw Roger leave and said Zamasu's name. He did not disbelieve Roger's words, but he did not believe them completely either. So he was hesitating in his heart whether to believe Roger's words or not. The 10th universe, the realm of the god of destruction. An elephant with pink skin and standing on 2 legs was lying on a piece of grass with a leisurely look on his face. He was the god of destruction of the 10th universe, Rumsey. Next to Rumsey stood a petite angel with a long white braid on her head. Her name was Kes, and she was the guide angel of the 10th universe and the eldest daughter of the High Priest. At this moment, a figure suddenly appeared in the realm of the god of destruction. This person was Roger. When Rumsey saw Roger suddenly appear, his body immediately stood up from the grass. Who are you? My name is Roger, and I'm a candidate for the 7th universe's King of Gods. Candidate for King of Gods? Roger. After hearing this, Kes immediately looked towards Roger. So you are the Roger my father was talking about. Kays, do you know him? I don't know him, I just heard my father mention him. Said Kes. I see, but Lord High Priest, why should I mention him to you? He said Roger might come to our universe. But as a candidate for King of the Gods, why would he ask the High Priest to notify you specifically? You have to ask him about this. Said Kersey with a smile. After hearing this, Rumsey immediately looked at Roger. Your Excellency the High Priest, you are my senior brother. Master. Senior brother. After hearing this, Rumsey was shocked. Even Kes standing beside him seemed a little surprised. But if this was the case, everything made sense. After being shocked for a while, Rumsey's attitude towards Roger immediately changed 180 degrees. Your name is Roger, right? You must have been tired after coming all this way. Kessie, go and prepare lunch and let Roger eat with us. Good Lord Rumsey. Lord Rumsey, I just came here to take a walk, so I don't need to eat. It turns out that as long as your status is high enough, even the god of destruction will please you. It's okay, Roger, it's just lunch. If you are free in the future, you can come and sit anytime. Rumsey said with a smile. In fact, Roger didn't want to stay for dinner, but he was just worried about the cooking skills of Chris. The Earth food in their 7th universe can be said to be the ceiling of the universe, so Roger usually only eats Earth food. Then, okay. After listening, Roger thought about it and agreed. Because the food would not be ready soon, Roger followed Rumsey into his palace and chatted with him. After a long time, lunch was ready. Roger and Rumsey went to the palace hall to eat together. Although the food made by Kes was not very delicious, it was not bad. After lunch, Roger said goodbye to Rumsey and returned to the 7th universe. In the afternoon, after Roger woke up from his nap, he came to the 11th universe. He first went to the 11th universe's Kaioshin realm, and then to the 11th universe's Destroyer realm. The Destroyer of the 11th universe is a destroyer who looks like a clown. His name is Wei Meida. The angel of the 11th universe is a tall female angel with a double ponytail hairstyle. Her name is Makurita. Who are you? Waimai looked at Roger, who suddenly appeared, and asked. Hello, my name is Roger, and I am a candidate for the 7th universe's King of the Gods. King of the Kai candidates. Just as Waimai was puzzled, Makurita standing beside him suddenly spoke up. So you are the Roger my father was talking about. Makurita, do you know him? I don't know him, but my father once mentioned him to me, but that was 6 years ago. 6 years ago. Makurita nodded. Roger, this is Lord Vimeo, the god of destruction of the 11th universe, and I am Makurita, Vimeo's servant. Mr. Delicious, Roger said. Delicious nodded. Roger, why are you here this time? The reason I came here this time is just to visit. Visit? Yes, let's learn about the 11th universe by the way. Understand the 11th universe. I'm a candidate for King of the Gods, so I'm curious about different universes. So that's it. After hearing this, Waimai immediately invited Roger to the palace to start a conversation. Although Waimai is a god of destruction, he is a very shrewd god of destruction. After talking with Waimai for a while, Roger asked Waimai if there were any powerful guys in the 11th universe. A powerful guy? Roger nodded. Yes, there is, but why are you asking this? No, I'm just curious. After hearing this, Wei Meida was half believing and half doubting, but he still mentioned some powerful guys in the 11th universe. Among these people was Jiren's enemy, the villain. After a long time, Roger and Wei Meida had almost finished talking, so he said goodbye to Wei Meida and left the 11th universe. Makurita, what do you think Roger is doing here? Waimai said as she watched Roger disappear. I don't know. Makurita shook her head. After leaving the 11th universe, Roger immediately came to the 12th universe and visited the Kaioshin realm and the Destroyer realm. After the visit, Roger returned to the 7th universe. The next morning, in the 6th universe, on a cyan planet, a man with purple skin and a black coat was drinking in a tavern on this planet. This man was Hit, the #1 killer in the 6th universe. Suddenly, a tall figure walked in from outside the tavern. This man was Roger. As soon as Roger entered the tavern, Hit, who was drinking, quickly noticed him. However, he continued to drink silently. Roger smiled and walked in front of Hit. Are you the killer, Hit? Hit immediately glanced at Roger. What's up? Let's go outside and talk, shall we? Hit hesitated for a moment and nodded. Then the two of them immediately walked out of the tavern. Okay, you can talk here. As soon as he finished speaking, Hit suddenly felt that time around him stopped, and a huge gravity pressed on him. Before Hit could react, Roger moved him to a patch of grass. The gravity on Hit disappeared, and his body began to move again. Who are you? My name is Roger. Roger, then why did you bring me here? It's nothing actually, I just want to fight with you. No time, Hit said, turning around and trying to leave. Roger roared loudly and transformed into Super Saiyan Rose. Hit turned his head and looked back. At this time, Roger's figure flashed and appeared in front of Hit in the blink of an eye, and he attacked forward with both fists. Hit raised his hands and blocked Roger's attack. Call out. Bang, bang, bang. Under Roger's attack, Hit's body kept retreating backwards. At this time, Roger kicked Hit's body with his right foot. Hit raised his left hand to block, and his body was kicked to the right. Roger moved his body to the left and continued to attack Hit. Hit yelled angrily, and suddenly launched a flash of time to attack Roger. Roger's left hand appeared on his abdomen and grabbed Hit's right fist. Hit was startled and quickly broke free from Roger's hand. Then, he launched a flash of time to attack Roger again. Roger dodged to the side and hit Hit's abdomen heavily with his right fist. Hit screamed loudly and spit out a mouthful of bitter water. Roger took this opportunity and punched Hit's face and body as fast as light. Under Roger's attack, Hit screamed, while continuously retreating backwards. Roger swung his right fist forward with force, and knocked Hit out with one punch. Hit stomped his feet hard on the ground, and soon stopped on the ground. Hit gasped and looked at Roger. Since becoming the #1 killer in the 6th universe, this was the first time he encountered such a powerful opponent as Roger. After resting for a while, Hit's body suddenly transformed into a large number of clones. The aura of each clone was the same as Hit's. Roger roared loudly, and his whole body exuded an extremely amazing momentum, which radiated to the surroundings. Click! With the sound of breaking glass, the flash space shattered, and Hit's real body hiding in the flash space appeared. Flash space is a derivative skill of flash time. Hit can store time, use the stored time to create space, and can move freely, leaving only an illusion in the real world. Therefore, Hit can be seen in front of us but cannot be attacked. Hit approaches the opponent through space and launches an attack at any time. Seeing Hit appear, Roger punched forward with his right fist and hit Hit's face hard. Hit screamed loudly, and his body was like a thread, and was hit thousands of meters away. After a while, Hit stood up from the ground. After seeing this, Roger did not continue to attack. Hit, thank you, is this the end of our fight? Here. Hit was puzzled. At this time, Roger moved back to the 7th universe. Have they gone? The 7th universe, Earth. After Roger returned to Earth, he immediately recalled the battle. Through his memories, Roger successfully realized how to store time and create flashes. I wonder if this Ultra Instinct and Flash Time can be used together. Roger said. His hair and eyebrows turned silver, his eyes turned silver gray, and his whole body exuded a lot of silver-white aura. This is the Ultra Instinct. After Roger transformed into the Ultra Instinct, he immediately activated the Flash Time and attacked the surrounding. Success. Roger was very happy to see that Ultra Instinct and Flash Time technique could be used together. Afterwards, he tried to use the 20x invulnerable Kaioken in Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct puts a great burden on the body. Normally, it is impossible to use the 20x Kaioken in Ultra Instinct state. However, the Kaioken Roger used was his improved 20x invulnerable Kaioken. The 20x invulnerable Kaioken mainly consumes physical strength and does not put a burden on the body. Kaioken. With a loud shout, Roger's body exuded a large amount of red aura. Roger merged the aura of Kaioken with the aura of Ultra Instinct, making Roger's body exude a silver and red aura. The aura of Kaioken and Ultra Instinct was successfully merged. 10 times Kaioken. Roger roared loudly, and the silver and red aura on his body surged. 20 times Kaioken. After seeing this, Roger raised the Kaioken's power again. The ground around him shook violently under the influence of Roger's aura. Success. Roger said, holding back the Kaioken's aura and breathing heavily. Although Roger successfully used the 20x invulnerable Kaioken in the Ultra Instinct state, the 20x invulnerable Kaioken did consume a lot of physical strength. Time flies, and 3 days have passed in a blink of an eye. Roger has returned to the planet Shangpa to practice today. The 7th universe, Earth. On a small island 9 kilometers south of Exodus, there is a shriveled old man with long hair and white beard, wearing a jacket, and a black hat with the red ribbon Legion R printed on his head. At this time, he is walking on the island with a fat man with white skin, wearing a jacket, and a black hat with R printed on his head. The old man is called Dr. Grow, a scientist of the Red Ribbon Legion that Roger once destroyed. The man following him is called Android 19, an artificial man created by Dr. Grow. The reason why the two appeared here today is to massacre the people on this island and take revenge on Roger. Get started with Android 19. It's Dr. Gero. Following Dr. Gero's orders, Android 19 immediately rushed towards the crowd on the island. A large number of islanders were slaughtered, and the islanders standing around were frightened and fled immediately after seeing this. Kill, murder, help, the islanders fled, shouting in all directions. Seeing this, Dr. Grow stood there with a cold face. Within an hour, all the residents on the island were slaughtered. Exodus, Bulma's house. Bulma was basking in the sun at home when Dr. Brief suddenly ran over from a distance. Bulma, Dad, Bulma, something bad has happened, someone is looking for Roger. Looking for Roger? Yes, the other party claimed to be from the Red Ribbon Army, saying that they wanted revenge on Roger, and they also massacred everyone on an island. How many of them? 2, but Roger is not on Earth now, and even I can't contact him. So what should I do now? Then let's find Luofeng and let Luofeng contact Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong. Yes, Roger told me that besides him, the most powerful person on Earth is Goku. Okay, then you should contact him quickly, otherwise many more people will die at their hands. Bulma nodded. Then, he took out his mobile phone and called Luofeng. The call was quickly connected. Mother, Luofeng, where are you now? What happened to me at Gohan's house, Mom? The Red Ribbon Army is looking for your father. Red Ribbon Army? Yes, contact Uncle Wukong right now and ask him to come over. Good. What's wrong, Luofeng? Son Gohan asked. My mom said someone from the Red Ribbon Army was looking for Dad. Red Ribbon Army? He asked me to go find Uncle Wukong. Find Daddy. After hearing this, Luofeng nodded and moved instantly to the North Kai King planet. Luofeng, Sun Wukong, who was practicing, said to Luofeng. Luofeng, why are you here? My mother said, let me come to you. Your mother? Luofeng nodded. After hearing this, Sun Wukong immediately stopped practicing. Luofeng, what happened? My mom said the Red Ribbon Army is looking for Dad. Red Ribbon Army? Yes. Luofeng nodded. In that case, shall we go to your house first? Luofeng nodded. Seeing this, Sun Wukong teleported and brought Luofeng to Bulma's house. Wukong. Bulma was immediately startled when she saw the two people suddenly appear. Bulma, what happened? After hearing this, Bulma immediately picked up the notebook beside her and played the news about Dr. Gero slaughtering the island. Slaughter the island. Sun Wukong was shocked when he saw this. Yes, when Roger and I were looking for the Dragon Ball, we ran into the Red Ribbon Army. For my safety, Roger destroyed the notorious Red Ribbon Army. The two people in the video, one is Dr. Gero, and I don't know the other one. Dr. Gero, yes, he was once a world-famous scientist, but I didn't expect him to join the Red Ribbon Army. Bulma said, so where are they now? Dr. Gero, they are now in the southern part of Exodus. I think they want to slaughter us all the way here. Roger is in the 6th universe now. I can't contact him for a while, so I'm asking you for help. The southern part of Exodus. Bulma nodded and pointed to the south. That's the direction. Okay, I got it. Sun Wukong said, and immediately flew into the sky. Luofeng saw it and immediately followed him. Hey, Luofeng, don't go. Bulma saw it and immediately shouted at Luofeng. Luofeng was only 9 years old this year, and she still didn't want Luofeng to take risks. Don't worry, Mom, I'll be fine. Luofeng replied. Bulma looked helpless after hearing this. Call out. Sun Wukong flew forward while looking down. After flying for a long time, Sun Wukong suddenly saw a city below being attacked, so he immediately flew down. Luofeng saw it and landed as well. Call out. The two fell to the city below at the same time. Dr. Gero, who was killing people, saw them and immediately turned to look at them. Android 19 also looked at them. Sun Wukong. Dr. Gero smiled and spoke to Sun Wukong. You know me. Of course, I know all the famous martial artists on Earth. Dr. Grow said, looking at Luofeng beside him. Who is he? Why does he look so much like Roger? He is Luo Feng, the son of Roger. I see. What about Roger? Roger is not on Earth now, so I am enough to deal with you alone. Really? Dr. Grow laughed. Android number 19, it's up to you to deal with these two guys. Yes. After hearing this, Sun Wukong made a fighting gesture with his hands. Android 19 chuckled and rushed towards Sun Wukong at the speed of the wind. Sun Wukong clenched his hands and rushed towards Android 19 as well. Soon, the two rushed in front of each other, and their fists were as fast as lightning, attacking each other. A large cloud of dust immediately rose around the two of them. The humans standing around them saw this and fled. At this moment, Sun Wukong punched Android 19 in the face with his right fist, knocking him out. Number 19. Dr. Gero was shocked. Android 19 stomped his feet hard on the ground and soon stopped on the ground. Sun Wukong shouted and rushed to Android 19 and punched Android 19 with both fists. Android 19 raised his hands forward and retreated while resisting Sun Wukong's attack. How could it be? Dr. Gero saw that Android 19 was completely suppressed, and a trace of surprise immediately appeared on his face. Bang! At this moment, Sun Wukong raised his right foot and kicked forward, kicking Android 19 to the coast of this city. Android 19 shouted angrily, and simultaneously fired two energy waves at Sun Wukong from both hands. Ah! Sun Wukong clenched his hands and transformed into a Super Saiyan. Just when the energy wave was about to hit Sun Wukong's whole body suddenly burst out with an extremely powerful momentum, directly rebounding the attacking energy wave. Boom, boom, boom. Along with several huge energy waves, the energy waves exploded in front of Sun Wukong. The large amount of thick smoke produced by the explosion immediately covered Sun Wukong's body. Seeing this, Android 19's eyes condensed slightly. At this moment, a figure suddenly appeared behind Android 19. Before Android 19 could react, he was knocked unconscious by the sudden attack. Number 19. Dr. Grow was startled, turned around quickly and ran back. Ah! Luo Feng roared loudly, transformed into a Super Saiyan and chased after him. Dr. Gero shouted angrily, and sent an energy wave behind him with his right hand. Luo Feng's figure flashed, and in a blink of an eye he came in front of Dr. Gero, and kicked forward with his right foot. Bang! With an extremely violent sound, Dr. Gero's body was like a thread, and it crashed into a building behind him. Luo Feng took this opportunity to quickly put his hands together and said, Came Pai Qi Gong Wave. A deep blue Qi wave condensed from Luo Feng's hands and hit Dr. Gero. After seeing this, Dr. Gero quickly raised his hands and absorbed the Kamehameha Pai Qi Gong. What? Sun Wukong and Luo Feng were shocked. After a while, when the Kamehameha's Qigong energy was completely absorbed, Dr. Gero immediately came out of the building and wanted to continue to escape. At this time, a figure suddenly appeared and blocked his way. This person was Sun Wukong. After seeing this, Dr. Gero immediately stopped, turned around and looked back, and found that Luo Feng was standing behind him at this time. Sun Wukong. Dr. Gero, you can't escape anymore. Dr. Gero was shocked. Sun Wukong, how do you know my name? Bulma told me this. Bulma, it's that woman. After hearing this, Dr. Gero immediately thought of Dr. Brief. Bulma is Dr. Brief's daughter, so it is very likely that she knows him. Sun Wukong, we have no grudges against each other, so how about you let me go today? The residents on the island have no grudges against you, so why did you kill them? Sun Wukong said. After hearing this, Dr. Grow immediately fell silent. Uncle Wukong, let's not waste time talking to him and just destroy him, shall we? After hearing this, Sun Wukong thought for a moment and nodded. I'll fight you, Dr. Gero said, gathering a lot of energy in his body, trying to explode himself. Oh no, he wants to self-destruct, Sun Wukong said, and immediately came to Dr. Gero and punched him with his right fist. Bang! With an extremely violent sound, Dr. Gero's body was blown into the air like a thread. Sun Wukong took this opportunity to quickly put his hands back and said, Turtle-style Qigong wave. A deep blue Qi wave condensed from Sun Wukong's hands and hit Dr. Gero. No, Dr. Gero roared in his heart. He wanted to absorb the Kamehameha from Sun Wukong, but a lot of energy was gathered in his body. If he absorbed the Kamehameha now, it would only accelerate his death. Boom! With an extremely loud explosion, the Kamehameha hit Dr. Gero and exploded in the sky. A huge cloud of smoke appeared, covering Dr. Gero's body. After a while, when the smoke in the sky gradually dissipated, Dr. Gero was no longer in the sky. Seeing this, Sun Wukong and Luo Feng immediately changed their bodies back to normal. Then, Luo Feng looked at the knocked-out android No. 19. Uncle Wukong, how does he solve it? I don't know, should I just kill him? Killed, yes. Sun Wukong nodded. After hearing this, Luo Feng immediately walked to Android 19 and fired a huge golden flame at Android 19 with his right hand. Bang! With an extremely loud sound, Android 19 was also destroyed. Let's go then. Yes, Luo Feng nodded. After that, the two of them immediately left the island city. In the evening, Roger came back from the 6th universe, and Bulma told Roger what happened today. Dr. Gero, yes, it's a pity for those innocent humans who were killed. How about Roger, we use the Dragon Balls to resurrect those who were killed. Resurrection is coming, but not today. Why? Because Dr. Gero might have created other humans too. Other androids. Roger nodded. Anyway, let's wait and see what happens. Oh well. The next morning, on an uninhabited island in the south of Exodus, there is a research institute hidden in a cave. This research institute is Dr. Gro's Research Institute. In Dr. Gro's Research Institute, there are 2 sleeping cabins with numbers 17 and 18 written on them. Suddenly, sleeping cabin number 18 was pushed open, and a woman with blonde hair, blue eyes and a good figure walked out of the sleeping cabin. The woman's name is Android number 18, and she is a man-made man created by Dr. Gro. After Android number 18 came out, he immediately pushed open the sleeping cabin with number 17 written on it. A handsome little boy with blue eyes walked out of the sleeping cabin. His name is Android number 17, also a man-made man created by Dr. Gro. He and Android number 18 are a pair of twin siblings. What about the old guy? Android 17 asked Android 18. I don't know, I think he might have gone out. Out, then what should we do next? Number 18, should we go out and look for that old guy? After hearing this, Android number 18 thought for a moment and nodded. Android number 17 looked at it and immediately walked out. At this moment, Android number 18 suddenly saw a sleeping cabin with the number 16 written on it. Wait, number 17, there seems to be another android here. There's another one. After hearing this, Android 17 followed Android 18's gaze and saw the sleeping cabin with the number 16 written on it. Android 17 couldn't help but snorted. Unexpectedly, this old guy has created other androids besides us. Android 18 nodded and opened the sleeping cabin with number 16. After the sleeping cabin was opened, a tall and burly man wearing a green shirt walked out of the sleeping cabin. He was Android 16 created by Dr. Gero. Unlike Androids 17 and 18, which were transformed from humans, Android 17 was a purely mechanical android. Big guy, are you also an android created by Dr. Gero? Android 17 asked Android 16. Yes, my name is Android 16, and you two should be Android 17 and 18, right? Android 16. Android 17 smiled and said. So, you were created bigger than the two of us? Yes. Android 16 nodded. Then what was the purpose of your creation? To destroy Roger as well. Android 16 nodded again. In that case, do you want to go with us to find Roger? Good. Okay, Android 16 and 18, shall we leave? The two nodded. Seeing this, Android 17 raised his right hand and fired a golden energy wave towards the door of the institute. With a loud bang, the door of the institute was blown open. Android 17 smiled and immediately took the two people out of the institute. At this time, Android 17 turned around and fired a golden energy wave from his right hand towards the institute behind him. With a loud bang, the entire institute was blown up. Let's go, Android 17 said, and immediately flew up into the sky. Because Dr. Gro's life or death was unknown, Android 18 and the others did not go to Exodus immediately, but played around to see if they could find Dr. Gro first. Dr. Gro had an emergency stop switch button on his body that could stop them from moving, which was always a huge hidden danger for them. So they had to eliminate Dr. Grow first before they could do what they wanted to do with peace of mind. Time flies, and a day has passed. During this day, Android 17 and his friends have been looking for Dr. Gero. But they have not found Dr. Gero. Number 18. Do you think Dr. Gero has died at Roger's hands? After 2 days without finding any clues about Dr. Gero, Android 17 naturally suspected that Dr. Gero was dead. I don't know. At this moment, Android 16, who was holding a newspaper, suddenly spoke up. On the 17th and 18th, Dr. Gero might really be dead. What? After hearing this, Android 17 immediately came to Android 16's side. Number 16, what do you mean? You will know after reading this news. Android 16 said, handing the newspaper to Android 17. Android 17 took the newspaper and soon saw the news about Dr. Gero and Android 19 slaughtering the island. News from the past 3 days. Yes, the latest news says that 2 mysterious men appeared and fought with Dr. Gero and his team, and it is unknown whether Dr. Gero and his team are alive or dead. Unknown about life or death. Yes, it is very likely that they have been eliminated by Roger and his men. In that case, let's go find Roger tomorrow. Yes. Android 16 nodded. The next morning, Android 17 and his 3 companions were flying in midair, preparing to go to the West City to fight Roger. Just as the 3 were about to fly to the city, a figure suddenly appeared and blocked their way. This person was Roger. Roger. After seeing this, Android 17 and Android 18 immediately stopped their systems. Roger smiled and said, "You guys are the androids created by Dr. Gero, right?" Android 17 was shocked. "How do you know we are artificial beings?" "I know everything." Android 17. "Cut your boasting. If you really know everything, why were the residents on the island massacred by Dr. Gero? Are you sympathizing with them?" "I'm not sympathizing, I just think you're just bragging. You're still pretty tough." Roger laughed. Android 17 snorted coldly after hearing this. "Stop talking nonsense to me. We are here to kill you today. Be prepared to die," Android 17 said, and rushed towards Roger. Soon, Android 17 rushed in front of Roger and attacked with both fists. Roger flashed and appeared in front of Android 18 in the blink of an eye. "What?" Android 18 was startled and quickly raised his right fist to attack Roger. "What?" Android 17 saw Roger disappear, and immediately turned around angrily and rushed towards Roger. Android 16, who was about to attack, gave up after seeing Roger's amazing speed. He didn't like fighting, a battle he couldn't win. Seeing Android 18 attack, Roger flashed to the right side of Android 18 and grabbed Android 18's arm with his right hand. Android 18 glanced to the right, raised his right foot and kicked to the right. "Call out." Roger's figure flashed and disappeared on the spot. "No, it's gone." Android 17, who was rushing towards the 2 people, was startled. At this moment, Roger suddenly appeared behind Android 17 and slapped Android 17's neck with his right hand. Bang! With a loud noise, Android 17 was knocked unconscious and fell down from midair. "No, 17. After seeing this, Android 18 immediately wanted to fly down to catch Android 17, but Roger suddenly appeared in front of her. Android 18 saw this and gritted his teeth. With a loud shout, Android 18 took a few steps forward and attacked Roger with his fists as fast as lightning. Roger moved slightly and easily dodged Android 18's attack. Android 18 yelled angrily and kicked at Roger with his right foot. Roger raised his left hand and blocked the attack of Android 18. After seeing this, Android 18 immediately retracted his right foot and continued to attack Roger with both hands as fast as lightning. Roger's figure flashed and came to the side of Android 18 in the blink of an eye. Before Android 18 could react, Roger's fists hit her body and head like phantoms. When Roger finished the attack, Android 18 immediately felt dizzy. What did you do to me?" "Nothing, just want you to see your future." "My future." As soon as he finished speaking, Android 18 immediately fainted, and her body fell straight down. Just when Android 18 was about to hit the ground, a figure suddenly appeared and hugged her. This person was Roger. Roger looked at Android 18 in his arms, and slowly put her on the ground. Android 18 is the second most popular beauty in the Dragon Ball world, and she is indeed very beautiful. If Android 16 was not right next to her, he would really like to hug her for a while longer. Thinking of this, Roger immediately looked at Android 16. You should also be an android created by Dr. Gero. Don't you plan to take action? After hearing this, Android 16 looked at the sky calmly. Although I really want to attack you, I know that I can't beat you even if I do. Roger said with a smile. You really have self-awareness. Aren't you afraid that I will kill them? You won't kill them. If you wanted to kill them, you would have done it long ago, right? You are very smart, but it is a pity that we are not friends. After hearing this, Android 16 immediately fell silent. Although he wanted to be friends with Roger, he was created by Dr. Gero to kill Roger. Even if he did not kill Roger, he could not be friends with Roger. Of course, if you want, we can be friends. After hearing this, Android 16 shook his head. Roger, even if we are not enemies, we can't be friends. After hearing this, Roger turned and looked at Android 18. Android 18 was hit by Roger's future foreseeing punch and saw her future. Of course, it was not the original future, but the changed future. After an unknown amount of time, Android 18 woke up from her coma and saw Roger standing beside her. Are you awake? Roger said with a smile. Android 18 snorted coldly and climbed up from the ground. No, 18, I have just let you see your future. If you still want to kill me, just come and kill me. You said what I just saw was my future. That's right. How is this possible? I don't believe that is my future. Why don't you believe it? Android 18 remained silent after hearing this. Number 18, you are actually quite pretty. Roger said with a smile. After hearing this, Android number 18 blushed. What do you mean? Actually, I am very beautiful. Yes, see you later. Roger said, and disappeared in an instant. At this time, Android 16, who was standing nearby, came over and said, Number 18, did you really see your future just now? How would I know? Who knows whether what he said is true or false? Time flies, and 3 days have passed in a blink of an eye. After waking up, Android 17 learned that Roger could not be defeated, so he separated from Android 18 and the others. Androids 17 and 18 were originally ordinary people, but they were transformed into androids after being captured by Dr. Gero. Now that Dr. Gero is dead, they can naturally start a new life again. On a mountain outside Exedu, a woman with blonde hair and blue eyes was walking by a stream. This woman was Android 18. Ever since Android 18 saw her future, a figure always appeared in her mind. This person was Roger. In the future she was with Roger decades later. Android 18 certainly didn't believe all this in her heart. But everything she saw was too real, which made her wonder whether she should believe it or not. On a small island in the north of Exedu, there is a very secret research institute. This research institute is another research institute of Dr. Gero. On the ground of this research institute, there are 3 sleeping cabins, and the 3 sleeping cabins are written with the words number 13, number 14, and no. 15. Suddenly, the 3 sleeping cabins opened together. A tall man with white hair on his head, wearing a black vest, green trousers, and a red ribbon army hat on his head, walked out of the number 13 sleeping cabin. This man is the android number 13 created by Dr. Gero. After the android number 13 walked out of the sleeping cabin, a man with white skin, tall and burly, naked upper body, green trousers on the lower body, a golden belt around the waist, and a long black braid on his head, walked out of the number 14 sleeping cabin. This man is the android number 14 created by Dr. Gero. After the 2 came out, a man with purple skin, short stature, wearing a big green round hat, a yellow shirt with a bow tie on the top of the shirt, light blue trousers on the bottom, and sunglasses on his eyes walked out of the sleeping cabin no. 15. He was the android number 15 created by Dr. Gero. Although they were created by Dr. Gero did not spend the main thought on them, but directly handed the design drawings to the supercomputer to help create them. Although the supercomputer is very powerful, it has no hands and feet, so the android number 13 and others were created later than the android number 17 and others. After the 3 came out of the sleeping cabin, they immediately said Roger's name. According to Dr. Gero's instructions, the 3 of them were created with only one purpose, that is, to kill Roger. After their goals were consistent, the three immediately flew towards the direction of Exedu. A few minutes later, the three arrived at Exedu and attacked Exedu. Boom, boom, boom. Under the attack of Android 13 and his friends, many people were immediately killed by their energy waves. The crowd standing around the three people saw this and fled. Many policemen with guns rushed over and surrounded the three people. "Put down your weapons and surrender quickly, or we will shoot," said a middle-aged policeman. Android 13 and his men ignored him and continued to attack the surroundings. After seeing this, the middle-aged policeman immediately ordered the surrounding policemen to shoot at the three people. A large number of bullets were fired from the pistols and hit the three people. The three people turned around and rushed towards the police. Soon, a large number of policemen were killed. After seeing this, the other policemen were immediately scared and fled. At this time, a blue figure suddenly appeared. This person was Android 18. Android 18. Android 13 laughed when he saw Android 18. According to Android 13's profile, Android 18 was created to kill Roger, just like them. Android 18 snorted coldly after hearing this. "Who are you and why are you killing innocent people?" Innocent people. After hearing this, Android 13 immediately laughed. "Number 18, don't you know who we are? Who are you?" Android 18 asked. "I am Android number 13, and they are number 14 and no. 15. No. 14, number 15. Yes, Android 18, aren't you created just like us to kill Roger?" Android 13 asked. "It used to be, but not now." "What do you mean? You betrayed Dr. Gero." "There is no escape from betrayal, because I never obeyed his orders." "So that's how it is. Are you here to stop us today?" "That's right," Android 18 said, and immediately rushed towards Android 13. Android 13 chuckled and rushed forward. "Call out." Bang, bang, bang. Soon, the two men came in front of each other and punched each other with their fists. The ground around them was immediately stirred up by huge clouds of dust. At this moment, Android 18 swung his right fist forward with all his strength and hit Android 13 hard in the face. Android 13's body was like a thread and was hit into the building behind him. Android 13. Android 14 saw this and immediately rushed towards Android 18. Android 18 turned around and faced Android 14. Android 14 swung forward with all his strength and hit Android 18. Android 18 dodged by moving to the side. Android 14 saw this and immediately raised his left fist and attacked Android 18. Android 18 raised his arms forward and stepped back a few steps. Android 14 shouted and attacked with all his strength. Seeing this, Android 18 dodged and stepped back. After seeing this, Android 13 immediately stood up from the ground, condensed a golden energy wave in his right hand, and hit Android 18. Seeing that his energy wave was about to hit Android 18, Android 13 immediately showed a sneer on his face. At this moment, a figure suddenly appeared and slapped the attack on Android 18 away. This person was Android 17. Number 17. Android number 18 looked at Android number 17 who suddenly appeared, and immediately showed a hint of surprise on his face. Android number 17 smiled and said, "Number 18, don't get me wrong, I just happened to pass by here." Number 17. Android 13 smiled. Although he was created mainly to kill Roger, he also wanted to know how strong Androids 17 and 18 were, which were later than him. Seeing this, Android 15 immediately stretched his muscles and prepared to attack. At this moment, a green figure flew down from the sky. This person was Android 16. Number 16. Android 17 was shocked. He didn't expect that Android 16 would come to help them. Android 16 nodded. What's going on? Could it be that the androids created by Dr. Gero have rebelled?" Android 15 said. "Originally, they just wanted to lure out Roger by destroying the West City. But unexpectedly, they didn't lure out Roger, but instead lured out Android 17 and the others. Forget it, let's just knock them down first," Android 15 said, and in a flash, he came to Android 16 and attacked with his right fist. Android 16 raised his left hand and grabbed Android 15's right fist. Android 15 wanted to retract his right fist immediately, but he didn't expect that his right fist was held tightly by Android 16. Android 15 shouted angrily, gathering a golden energy in his left palm, trying to attack Android 16. But at this moment, Android 16 suddenly grabbed Android 15's left hand with his right hand. Before Android 15 could react, Android 16 circled back and grabbed Android 15 with both hands, making Android 15 unable to move. Android 15 kicked back with his right foot, trying to resist. However, his body was controlled and he couldn't use any strength at all. "I don't want to kill you, so please don't resist." After hearing this, Android 15 was very unwilling in his heart, but he still did not continue to resist. On the other side, Android 17 took action, and Android 18 dealt with Android 14 very easily. Although Androids 13 and 14 were strong, their combat effectiveness was still lower than that of Android 17 and others. Just when the four were fighting fiercely, a figure suddenly appeared around Android 13 and others. This person was Luo Feng. After Luo Feng appeared, he immediately attracted the attention of Android 13 and others. However, they were still fighting, so they did not pay too much attention to Luo Feng. After Luo Feng appeared, he immediately looked at the controlled Android 15. He had just learned from TV that it was Androids 13, 14, and 15 who destroyed the city. Androids 13 and 14 were still fighting with others, so he naturally turned his attention to Android 15. "This kid looks a lot like Roger, could he be Roger's son?" Android 15 asked Android 16. Android 16 nodded after hearing T. After hearing this, Luo Feng immediately looked towards Android 16. "You know, barely. Then can you let him go?" Luo Feng asked. After hearing this, Android 16 hesitated for a while and let go of Android 15. Android 15 was stunned and quickly came to the right side of the two and looked at them. He was a little confused. Why would Android 16 let him go just because of Luo Feng's words? Thinking of this, Android 15 immediately detected Luo Feng's combat power. However, Luo Feng had restrained his aura, so Android 15 could not detect his true combat power at all. 5,000. Luo Feng smiles. "Want to know my fighting power?" Luo Feng said, clenching his hands tightly, and his whole body exuded an extremely amazing aura, which quickly rose upwards. Ah! With a huge roar, the hair on Luo Feng's head turned golden and stood up, and his eyes turned light green. "This is the Super Saiyan." Android 15 was shocked. "Ha!" Luo Feng with a shout, he turned around, stomped his right foot on the ground behind him, and rushed towards Android 15. In less than a blink of an eye, Luo Feng rushed in front of Android 15, and his fists were like lightning, attacking Android 15. Facing Roger's fierce attack, Android 15 raised his hands to block Luo Feng's attack while retreating. Ah! After Roger pushed Android 15 back a distance, he raised his foot and kicked Android 15 hard in the abdomen. Android 15 screamed loudly, and his body was like a thread, knocking a big hole in the 3 buildings behind him. The 3 buildings were immediately hit by a lot of rubble and dust. Luo Feng flew forward and quickly flew in front of Android 15. He grabbed Android 15's right foot with both hands, lifted his body, rotated it 360 degrees outward for several circles, and threw it into the sky. Luo Feng took this opportunity to quickly put his hands together and said, "Kamel Pai Qi Gong Wave." A deep blue wave of qi condensed from Luo Feng's hands and hit Android 15 in the sky. Android 15, whose body was still flying backwards, saw it and quickly slowed down and raised his hands to block Kamehameha. Bang! Kamehameha hit Android 15 and pushed his body back a distance. Android 15 gritted his teeth and tried his best to block it with both hands. At this moment, Luo Feng shouted and hit upwards with both hands. Under Luo Feng's full strength, Android 15 soon couldn't hold on and his body was hit hard by Kamehameha. Boom! With an extremely loud explosion, Kamehameha exploded in the sky. An extremely huge blue storm appeared and swept around. Android 15's body was quickly torn apart, and many of Android 15's body fragments fell from the sky. Number 15. Android 14 was shocked when he saw this. Just when Android 14 was distracted, Android 18 punched Android 14 in the face with his right fist, knocking him out. Android 14 stepped hard on the ground with both feet and quickly stopped on the ground. When he looked forward again, the figure of Android 18 had disappeared. No. It's gone. Android 14 was startled and turned around quickly. Ha! Just as Android 14 turned around, he immediately saw Android 18 condense a golden energy wave with his hands and hit him. Android 14 was startled, and before his body could react, the golden energy wave hit him. Boom! With a huge explosion, the golden energy wave exploded on the ground. Android 14 screamed loudly, and his body was blown to pieces by the golden energy wave. 14. Android 13, who was still fighting with Android 17, saw this and his face changed. Android 17 chuckled and swung his right fist forward with all his strength, hitting Android 13's face hard. Bang! With an extremely loud sound, Android 13's body was immediately knocked out and crashed into the building behind him. The building was immediately hit with a lot of rubble and dust. Android 13 yelled angrily, and quickly stood up from the ground. Ah! Android 13 shouted, and the remains of Android 14 and 15 flew towards Android 13 and merged with Android 13. Android 13's skin changed from yellow to blue, and the white hair on his head turned orange-red. His body became taller and more sturdy, and he looked like a ghost. What? Android 17 was startled. Android 13 laughed evilly, and came to Android 17 in the blink of an eye, punching Android 17 in the abdomen with his right fist. Bang! Android 13 hit Android 17's abdomen hard with his right fist. Android 17 screamed loudly and spat out a mouthful of bitter water. After seeing this, Android 13 immediately retracted his right fist, walked to the left side of Android 17, and hit Android 17's back with both hands. Bang! With an extremely loud sound, Android 17 was knocked to the ground. Android 17 immediately let out an extremely loud scream. Android 13 stepped on the top of Android 17's head with his right foot. 17. Android 18 saw this and rushed towards Android 13 in anger. Android 16 saw this and quickly followed suit. Soon, Android 18 came in front of Android 13 and attacked with both fists. Android 13 raised his hands forward and easily blocked Android 18's attack with his hands. Android 18 yelled angrily, punching forward with her right fist. Android 13 raised her left hand and caught Android 18's right fist. Android 18 was shocked. She punched with all her strength, but Android 13 caught it. Is this all you have? Android 13 laughed. After hearing this, Android 18 immediately tried to retract her right fist. But Android 13 was too strong, and she couldn't break free from her hand with her right hand. Android 18 swung her left fist forward, trying to retract her right fist while Android 13 was dodging. But Android 13 didn't dodge as she expected, but raised his hand again to grab his left fist. In this way, Android 18's two hands were grabbed. Android 18's face changed when he saw this. At this moment, Android 16 rushed over from a distance, and his right fist was as fast as lightning, attacking Android 13. Android 13 immediately let go of Android 18's hands and stepped back. Android 16's right fist missed. Are you okay, number 18? No. It's okay. Really. Just as the words fell, Android 13 rushed in front of Android 16, and attacked Android 16 with his right fist as fast as lightning. Android 16 grabbed Android 13's right fist with his left hand and stepped back a few steps. Android 13 was shocked. Although the punch just now was just a casual punch of his, with his current strength, even Android 17 and others would find it difficult to block it. But Android 16 took it very casually, which shows that Android 16's strength is probably far above Android 17 and others. Thinking of this, Android 13 immediately raised his left fist and hit Android 16. Android 16 raised his right hand and grabbed Android 13's left fist. What? Android 13 was startled again. At this time, Android 16 pushed forward with both hands, trying to push Android 13 away. Android 13 gritted his teeth and pushed forward with both hands. Android 16 shouted loudly, and a translucent aura rose from his body. Android 13 shouted loudly, and a translucent aura rose from his body at the same time. Bang! Under the powerful force of the two, the ground under their feet immediately cracked like a spider web. After a stalemate, Android 16 pushed Android 13 away with both hands. Whoosh! Due to the exhaustion of their physical strength, the two of them gasped for breath. Seeing this, Luo Feng immediately walked to the side of android number 16 and said, "You are an android, so you won't destroy him, right?" Android 16 nodded. The reason why he took action just now was just to protect androids 17 and 18. As for protecting humans and destroying androids, it was not within his scope at all. In that case, how about you hand him over to me? Android 16 thought about it and nodded. Good, you want to fight me? Android 13 laughed immediately after hearing this. In his opinion, although Luo Feng is strong, he is just a little devil. Yeah, any questions? It's nothing. Since you want to die, I'll help you. Android 13 said, and immediately came to Luo Feng, and punched him with his right fist as fast as lightning. Luo Feng dodged by moving sideways. Android 13 was startled, and quickly raised his left fist to attack Luo Feng. Luo Feng raised his right hand and grabbed Android 13's right fist. Android 13 yelled angrily, and kicked forward with his right foot. Luo Feng immediately released Android 13's left fist, stepped back, and dodged. Android 13 saw that his attack was dodged again, and immediately condensed a golden energy wave with his hands and attacked Luo Feng. Luo Feng jumped up and flew into the sky. Boom! With a huge explosion, the energy wave exploded on the ground. Android 13 sneered and flew into the sky. Luo Feng looked at it and immediately flew forward. Seeing this, Android 13 immediately chased after him. After a while, Luo Feng stopped in the sky above Exodus. Android 13 shouted and rushed to Luo Feng quickly, punching him with his fists as fast as lightning. Luo Feng clenched his fists and fought with Android 13. After the two fought for a while, Android 13 raised his right foot and kicked Roger in the face. Roger ducked and dodged. Android 13 saw it and immediately stepped back. Then, the two figures flashed, and their bodies moved quickly in the sky and started fighting. Exodus. After seeing the two flying outside Exodus, Android 18 quickly came to Android 17. Number 17, are you okay? It's okay. After hearing this, Android 17 shook his head. Although Android 17 said this, his body was actually seriously injured. Really? After hearing this, Android 18 was half believing and half doubting. However, their physiques were different from those of ordinary people. Even if they were injured, it would not take too long to recover. Android 17 nodded. By the way, number 18, how did you end up fighting with Android number 13 and the others? I just happened to run into them in Exodus, so I took action. Android 18 said, looking away with a guilty look on her face. In fact, the reason why she appeared in Exodus today was because she saw the future and knew that Android 13 and the others would appear today. So she came here mainly to confirm whether what she saw that day was really her future. Is that so? After hearing this, Android 17 was half believing and half doubting. Outside Exodus, Luo Feng fought with Android 13 for a while, then knocked him down from the sky. As soon as Luo Feng landed, he stood in front of Android 13. Android 13 shouted angrily, quickly got up from the ground, and rushed towards Luo Feng with a fist. Luo Feng dodged to the side and hit Android 13's abdomen with his right fist. Android 13 screamed loudly and spat out a mouthful of bitter water. Luo Feng kicked Android 13 with his left foot. With a loud bang, Android 13's body was like a thread, and it crashed heavily into a mountain behind him. Luo Feng took this opportunity to quickly put his hands together and said, Came Pai Qi Gong Wave. A deep blue Qi wave condensed from Luo Feng's hands and hit Android 13. Boom! With a huge explosion, Kamehameha Pai Qi Gong hit Android 13 and exploded on the ground. Android 13 screamed loudly, and his body and the mountain behind him were blown to pieces. Then, a huge white mushroom cloud rose from the ground. It looks like the battle is over. Android 16 looked at the huge white mushroom cloud outside Exodus, turned around and walked back. Androids 17 and 18 also walked away. After a while, when the smoke from the explosion dissipated, Android 13 and Dashan disappeared. Luo Feng exhaled lightly, changed his body back to normal, and flew to Exodus. Gone. Luo Feng originally wanted to thank Android 18 and the others, but he didn't expect them to leave. In the evening, Roger returned home and Luo Feng told him what happened today. Android 18. Yes. Luo Feng nodded. Dad, you are right. It turns out that only by fighting with more people can you gain combat experience. Then you must improve your strength so that you can protect the Earth when I am away. Okay, Dad. The next morning, in a city in the southern part of the Earth, a blonde with blue eyes was walking on the street. This woman was Android 18. Suddenly, a figure flew down from the sky. This person was Roger. Call out, tread. Roger landed in front of Android 18. Number 18. Roger smiled and greeted Android No. 18. After hearing this, Android number 18 looked at him expressionlessly and said, "What can I do for you, Roger? Don't look so cold, number 18. I came here today to thank you." Thank me? Yes, if you hadn't taken action, more humans would have died in Exodus yesterday. There's no need, you'll be able to use the Dragon Balls to revive those people anyway. Android 18 said calmly, "No matter what, I have to thank you for your help." Roger said, his eyes suddenly emitted a red light. But soon, the red light dissipated from his eyes. "No, 18, I will defuse all the bombs in your body as well as those in number 16 and number 17, as a token of my gratitude to you." Defuse the bomb. Yes, you have seen the future, I think you should believe what I say, right? Roger said with a smile. Humph, Android 18 snorted coldly. Roger, don't think I will thank you just because you helped me remove the bomb in my body. Roger nodded. Then, number 18, can you tell me what you see in the future? Android number 18 smiled and said, Roger, you are not very good. Why are you asking me this? Number 18, you look pretty when you smile. After hearing this, Android number 18 said with a serious expression on his face. Roger, do you have anything else to say? If not, I'll leave first. No, by the way, if you see number 16 and number 17, please say thank you to them for me. Android number 18 nodded. Seeing this, Roger put his 2 fingers on his forehead and moved away from the Earth in an instant. Time flies, and 3 days have passed in a blink of an eye. In the West Capital, at Bulma's house. After having breakfast, Roger was about to go to the 6th universe for training when a blue figure suddenly appeared in the sky above Bulma's backyard. Roger looked up and saw a woman with snow-white skin, a very tall figure, and wearing a blue robe. The woman's name was Sareth, the daughter of the dragon god Sarama. Call out, tread. Sareth fell from midair in front of Roger. Who are you? What are you doing here? I'm here to fight you. Fighting? Yes, Sareth nodded. As long as you defeat me, I will tell you who I am. Really? In that case, let's fight somewhere else. Okay, you can choose the place. Sareth said with a smile. After hearing this, Roger immediately flew into the sky. Sareth saw this and immediately followed him. Call out. Tread. After a while, Roger flew to a mountain outside of Exodus, and Sareth followed him down. The two stood dozens of meters apart, looking at each other. Roger. Then let's start. Sareth nodded. Seeing this, Roger clenched his hands tightly, and an extremely amazing aura emanated from his whole body, and he quickly rose up. Ah! With a huge roar, the hair on Roger's head turned thin red and stood up. His eyes had no outline, the color of his pupils and irises turned grayish-white, and a lot of rose-red aura emanated from his whole body. This was Super Saiyan Rose. Sareth smiled, came to Roger in the blink of an eye, and punched forward with her right fist. Roger blocked with both hands and stepped back a few steps. Sareth moved forward, and punched Roger with both fists like a storm. Call out. Bang, bang, bang. Roger raised his hands forward, resisting Sareth's attack while retreating. Huge clouds of dust were immediately raised around the two of them. At this time, Sareth suddenly punched Roger's abdomen with his left fist. Roger was unable to resist and was hit hard by Sareth's right fist in the abdomen. Roger screamed loudly, and his body was like a thread, slamming into a mountain behind him. A lot of dust was immediately smashed out of the mountain. Sareth raised her left hand, and a lot of golden light spots suddenly appeared around her left hand. Sareth's left palm even condensed a golden energy wave. Call out. Sareth used her left palm to send an energy wave towards Roger. Other energy points like light spots also followed and sent it towards Roger. Call out. Boom, boom, boom. With huge explosions, the energy waves launched by Sareth hit Roger. Roger screamed loudly, and the mountain behind him was suddenly shattered by the energy waves launched by Sereth. Then, a large cloud of smoke appeared and covered Roger. Sereth chuckled and put down her raised left hand. At this moment, a figure suddenly appeared behind Sereth. Sereth turned to the right and kicked Roger hard with her left foot. Roger was startled, and before he could react, Sereth kicked him hard with her left foot, kicking him to the ground on the left. Roger supported the ground with both hands, and his body quickly stand up on the ground, gasping for breath. "Roger, is this all you have?" Sereth said with a little disappointment. After hearing this, Roger immediately changed his body back to normal. Roger took a deep breath, and his head and eyebrows turned silver, his eyes turned silver gray, and his whole body exuded a lot of silver-white aura. "This is the sign of the ultimate power of freedom." Sereth was shocked. Could this be the angel's martial arts? "Yeah," Roger nodded. "Interesting, but don't think you can defeat me just because you master the angel's martial arts," Sereth said, and immediately rushed to Roger, her fists as fast as flashes, attacking Roger. Seeing this, Roger dodged Sereth's attack like a phantom. Sereth yelled angrily, speeding up her body and attacking Roger with both fists at an even faster speed. Roger dodged, raised his hands to block Sereth's attack, and retreated. Suddenly, Sereth raised her foot and kicked forward, hitting Roger hard. Roger was immediately kicked out. Roger stomped his feet hard on the ground and soon stopped on the ground. "Who on earth is this guy?" Roger thought to himself as he looked at Sereth in front of him. At this moment, Sereth's figure suddenly disappeared from where she was and appeared behind Roger. Roger moved to the left, half turned around, and saw that his right fist missed Sereth. Sereth yelled in anger, and her fists were like a storm, attacking Roger. Roger stepped back, and his body turned into a silver light, flying into the sky. Sereth saw this and immediately turned into a golden light, chasing after him. Call out, bang, bang, bang. With a series of extremely violent sounds, the two people's bodies turned into gold and silver lights, fighting each other in the sky. Because the two people moved too fast, from a distance, it seemed that there were countless gold and silver flashes in the sky. Bang! After fighting for a while, the two people hit each other with their right fists, and invisible ripples emanated from their hands, spreading into the universe. Some uninhabited planets around the Earth, after being spread to the cosmic ripples, immediately turned into dust and disappeared into the universe. "Kaioken!" Roger shouted, and his right fist suddenly burst out with an extremely powerful force, knocking Sereth back. Sereth was startled, and her body quickly stopped in the air. "Could it be that you are still hiding your strength?" "Guess." Roger laughed. Sereth snorted coldly. "Roger, you are indeed very strong, but even if you hide your strength, you cannot defeat me." "Really? Now can you tell me who you are?" "Wait until you defeat me." "Okay then," Roger said, and his body immediately turned into a silver light and rushed towards Sereth. Sereth's figure flashed and came behind Roger in a blink of an eye. At this moment, Roger used the flash time skill, turned around quickly, and hit Sereth's abdomen with his right fist as fast as a flash of light. Sereth screamed loudly, and her body flew backwards like light. Roger took this opportunity to quickly put his hands together and said, "Kame Pai Ki Gong Wave." A deep blue wave condensed from Roger's hands and hit Sereth. Sereth, who was still flying backwards, saw it and immediately stopped and dodged. Boom! With an extremely loud explosion, Kamehameha Pai Ki Gong Wave exploded in the sky behind Sereth. An extremely huge blue storm appeared and swept around. Then, a lot of smoke from the explosion appeared in the sky. Seeing this, Roger's face became serious. Sereth's strength was much stronger than he imagined. Roger, was that a time trick? Although Sereth didn't know about the flash time technique, she could feel that the time had obviously slowed down. "Yes, that was called flash time gong," Roger said, taking a deep breath, and a huge silver-white figure emerged from Roger. The figure looked exactly like Roger. And this was the external incarnation of Ultra Instinct. Sereth was shocked. At this time, Roger's external incarnation rushed towards Sereth under Roger's control. Sereth snorted coldly, and both hands simultaneously fired a golden energy wave, attacking Roger's external clone. Roger clapped his hands and slapped the two attacking energy waves to the ground. Boom! Boom! With two huge explosions, the energy waves that fell on the ground exploded on the ground, producing two huge smoke and flames on the ground. Get bigger, I can do it too, Sereth said, and her body immediately became the same size as Roger's clone. Roger swung his right fist forward, and Roger's clone followed Roger's movement and attacked Sereth. Sereth raised her left hand and grabbed Roger's clone's right fist. Seeing this, Roger swung his left fist forward. Sereth raised her right hand and grabbed the left fist. Roger gritted his teeth and pushed forward with both fists. Sereth saw it and pushed forward with both hands. Boom! The ground around them shook violently under the powerful force of the two. At this moment, two figures flew over from a distance. These two people were Luo Feng and Sun Gohan. It's Daddy, Luo Feng said excitedly when he saw Roger. Sun Gohan nodded. Then Luo Feng, who is the person fighting with Uncle Roger now? Have no idea. Call out, tread. As they spoke, they immediately landed on the ground. Luo Feng. Roger was distracted when he saw the two. Sereth took advantage of Roger's distraction and pushed forward with both hands, sending Roger flying hundreds of meters away. Roger stomped his feet hard on the ground and soon stopped. Whoosh! Roger gasped and dispersed his clone. Sereth saw this and immediately changed her body back. Kaioken. At this moment, Roger clenched his hands tightly, and a silver flame rose from his body, and outside the silver flame was a red aura. Sereth smiled. Ah! Roger screamed loudly, and his whole body's energy surged upwards. On the North Kai King's planet, the North Kai King, who had been watching the two fight, was shocked when he saw Roger use the Kaioken. What's wrong, King Kai? Asked Sun Wukong standing nearby. Roger is fighting someone now. Fight with people. Yes, then why didn't I feel it? Maybe it's because mortals can't feel the breath of God. Oh, so who is he fighting now? I don't know, but it's a woman. Is it amazing? Of course, Roger has now used the Kaioken that I taught him. King Fist. At this time, East Kai and Jepitel had already sensed the powerful aura generated by the battle between Roger and Sereth. Lord Kaioshin, who is Roger fighting with now? I don't know, but judging from his aura, his strength should be about the same as Roger's. On Earth, Roger has increased his aura by 20 times. 20 times Kaioken, Roger shouted, and his body turned into a red flash, appearing behind Sereth. So fast, Sereth was startled and turned around quickly. At the moment Sereth turned around, Roger's right fist was as fast as a flash of light and attacked Sereth. Bang! Roger hit Sereth's face with his right fist and knocked her out. Chapter 91. Call out. Roger's figure flashed, and in the blink of an eye he was behind Sereth, and he raised his right foot and kicked upwards. Bang! With an extremely violent sound, Sereth's body was kicked into the air like light. Roger took this opportunity to quickly put his hands together and said, Kamehameha Qigong Wave. A deep blue Qigong wave quickly condensed from Roger's hands and hit Sereth. Sereth saw this and quickly stopped and raised her hands to block the Kamehameha Qigong. Bang! Sereth blocked Roger's Kamehameha Qigong with both hands. Ah! Roger screamed loudly and pushed his hands upwards with all his strength. Sereth was immediately pushed upwards by the powerful Kamehameha wave. But soon, she resisted the Kamehameha wave again. What? Roger was shocked. Ah! At this moment, Sereth screamed loudly, and a large amount of golden aura emanated from her body, forming a golden protective shield around her body to counter the Kamehameha Qigong. After a while, the Kamehameha Qigong wave ran out of energy and disappeared into the sky. Whoosh! The Kaioken aura on Roger's body dissipated, and he half-crouched on the ground, gasping for breath. Roger, you are indeed very strong, but what you did just now should be your limit, right? Sereth said, standing in the air, looking down at Roger. After hearing this, Roger slowly stood up from the ground and opened his hands to both sides. Still not admitting defeat, Sereth said with a smile. After hearing this, Roger ignored her and began to absorb the power of the sun, moon and stars in the universe. Sereth saw that Roger ignored her, but she stood there without getting angry. She wanted to see what Roger was going to do. As a large amount of star power poured into Roger's body, Roger's whole body immediately became like white light. After a while, Roger had absorbed almost all the star power, so he put down his open hands, and his whole body exuded an amazing fighting spirit. This fighting spirit also contained the martial arts spirit that Roger had learned from Wu Taito. Seeing this, Sereth's face became serious. Although she didn't know how much his strength had improved, she could still feel the terrifying fighting spirit from him. At this moment, Roger opened his legs to both sides, and a huge dragon-shaped shadow immediately appeared behind Roger. This dragon-shaped shadow is called Dragon Form, and it was created by Roger combining Ultra Instinct with the God of Destruction's Divine Control technique. Dragon Form has both the automatic dodge of Ultra Instinct and the God of Destruction's Divine Control technique that as the user's fighting spirit increases, the user's strength increases infinitely through instinct. However, although Dragon Form is powerful, it also consumes more physical strength. This is why Roger didn't use Dragon Form at the beginning. Dragon. Sereth was shocked. Ha! At this moment, Roger shouted loudly, and rushed to Sereth in the blink of an eye, and attacked Sereth with his fists at superluminal speed. Sereth raised her hands to block Roger's attack while retreating. Call out. Bang, bang, bang. Because Roger's fists attacked so fast, from a distance it looked like dozens of hands. When the two of them were fighting fiercely, the angels from all universes also sensed the fighting aura of the two. However, the seventh universe was not their territory after all, so they could only look in the direction of the seventh universe. After Sereth stepped back for a while, an extremely powerful aura suddenly burst out from her body, which pushed Roger back. Roger clenched his fists tightly and soon stopped in the sky. At this time, a large amount of energy waves appeared around Sereth's body in an instant. Seeing this, Roger's eyes condensed slightly. Sereth smiled, and the energy waves around her body immediately attacked Roger together. Roger raised his right hand, and the energy waves attacked by Sereth immediately fell down. Boom, boom, boom. With huge explosions, all the energy waves exploded under the two of them. Sereth was startled, and her body immediately turned into a golden light and appeared in front of Roger. Roger jumped with his feet, and flew out of the earth in the blink of an eye. After watching, Sereth also flew out of the earth. Son Gohan. Luo Feng, your father has flown out of the earth. Luo Feng nodded. Above the earth, Sereth and Roger were standing less than a kilometer apart at this time, looking at each other. Call out. Suddenly, Sereth's figure flashed, and in the blink of an eye, she came in front of Roger, and her fists attacked Roger at superluminal speed. Roger clenched his fists, and his fists also hit Sereth at superluminal speed. Call out. Bang, bang, bang. With earth-shaking sounds, the two men punched each other with their fists, and an extremely strong wind emanated from their hands, forming a huge tornado around their bodies. Bang! After the two men fought for a while, they punched each other in the face with their right fists at the same time, and their faces immediately tilted back. The two men quickly retracted their right fists and hit each other in other places. Call out. Bang, bang, bang. The two punched each other hard on the face and body. Under the attack of each other, both of them soon had a lot of wounds on their bodies. Bang! After a while, Sereth clenched her right fist and hit Roger hard on the face. Roger screamed loudly, and his body flew backwards like light. After Roger flew backwards for thousands of meters, he clenched his fists and slowed down in the universe. At this time, the star power on Roger's body dissipated, and his body returned to normal from Ultra Instinct. This time, Roger really used all his strength. Sereth looked at Roger, whose body had returned to normal, and not only did she not feel happy, but she was a little shocked. A human who was only in his 30s could force her to such a point. Can you tell me who you are now? Sereth immediately flashed behind Roger and pressed her right hand against Roger's shoulder. Roger screamed loudly, and his body fell towards the earth like light. Dad. Luo Feng was shocked to see Roger falling down like a flame, and he quickly flew towards the direction where Roger fell. Just when Roger was about to fall to the ground, Roger used his last bit of strength to condense a blue protective shield outside his body. With a loud bang, Roger's body fell heavily to the ground. The ground was immediately stirred up by a huge dust. After a while, when the dust dissipated, an extremely huge deep pit immediately appeared on the ground. Roger's body was lying in this deep pit. Dad. Seeing this, Luo Feng immediately flew to Roger's side. Are you okay, Dad? I'm fine, Roger said weakly. At this moment, Salama flew down from midair and landed in front of Roger. Seeing this, Luo Feng immediately looked at Salama with hostility. After seeing this, Roger propped himself up with his right hand and sat on the ground. Can you tell me who you are now? Roger asked Sarith. I am Sarith, the daughter of the dragon god Sarama. The daughter of the dragon god. Yes, Sarith nodded. Then, why did you come to fight me today? Sarith looked at Luo Feng and said. You will know this later. Then we'll meet again. Sarith said, and her body immediately turned into a golden light and flew into the sky. Dad, who is the dragon god Sarama? Luo Feng asked Roger as soon as he saw Sarith. Dragon god Sarama is the creator of Super Dragon Balls. So is he very powerful? I don't know, I've only heard of him but never met him. But his daughter is so powerful, so he must be even more powerful. Luo Feng nodded. At this time, Sun Gohan also flew over from not far away. Seeing this, Roger immediately took out a senzu bean from his body and swallowed it. After taking the senzu bean, Roger's injuries and physical strength recovered immediately. Roger also stood up from the ground and took a long breath. Roger could have continued to fight with her just now, but she knew that Sarith was holding back, so it would be meaningless to continue fighting, so she didn't take the senzu bean to fight with her. Dragon God Realm. After Sarith left the earth, she quickly flew back to the Dragon God Realm. Sarama smiled and looked at Sarith who had returned. How is it? My junior fellow apprentice is not as simple as you think, right? Sarith snorted coldly after hearing this. So what, didn't he lose to me in the end? Yes, he lost, but do you know how old he is now? I know, but he already has a wife. The lifespan of ordinary people is only 100 years, which is just a blink of an eye for us. Sarith remained silent after hearing this. The sixth universe, the realm of destruction. After talking with Luo Feng and the others for a while, Roger came to the planet Shangpa. You are here, Roger. I thought you were not coming today. Bardos said to Roger with a smile on his face. Without Sister Bardos, I would have been late because I suddenly ran into some trouble today. Do you mean Sarith? Sister Bardos, do you know Sarith? Of course I know him, my father has a good relationship with Sarith's father. You said that the High Priest has a good relationship with the Dragon God Salama. Yeah, any questions? No. After hearing this, Roger shook his head. He had watched too many Dragon Ball fan animations in his previous life. In the fan animations, the High Priest and Salama were basically enemies. Really? After hearing this, Bardos was half believing and half doubting. However, judging from your fight with her this time, your strength is indeed much better than before, but you still have to practice hard to defeat her in the future. Roger nodded. Time flies, and a year has passed in a blink of an eye. Everything was very peaceful during this year. But at noon today, Son Goku suffered a viral heart attack. Son Gohan originally wanted to cure Son Goku's viral heart disease through the Dragon Balls on Earth. However, the Earth Dragon said that birth, aging, illness and death are natural phenomena, and he could not cure Son Goku. Son Gohan had no choice but to ask Luo Feng to ask Whis for help. Whis was also helpless. In the evening, Roger came back from Earth and learned about this, so he gave the viral heart disease medicine he developed to Son Goku. After taking the medicine, Son Gokong immediately felt better. Then in the next 3 days, with the help of the medicine, Son Gokong successfully defeated the disease. Everyone was happy for Son Gokong, especially Chi-Chi. Not long after Son Gokong recovered, he continued to practice. Time flies, and 2 months have passed in a blink of an eye. After 2 months of training, Sun Wukong's strength has reached the limit of Super Saiyan 2. At this time, Sun Wukong was standing on the grass of North Kai King's planet with a serious face. Suddenly, Sun Wukong clenched his hands, and an extremely amazing aura emanated from his body, and he quickly rose up. Bang! With an extremely amazing momentum, Sun Wukong's hair and eyebrows turned golden and stood up, his eyes turned light green, and a golden aura rose from his body. This is the Super Saiyan. Ah! Sun Wukong roared loudly, and his whole body's energy surged upwards. Sizzle! Bang! With an extremely amazing momentum, Sun Wukong's hair stood up even more, and his body was surrounded by lightning as he emitted energy. The flame-like aura on his body turned into a flame-spraying aura. This was exactly what Super Saiyan 2 was like. The surrounding grass was blown everywhere by the powerful aura emitted by Sun Wukong's body. Even the North Kai King and Babris who were standing on the North Kai King's planet were blown away by the powerful aura emitted by Sun Wukong. Ah! Just at this moment, Sun Wukong roared downwards, and an extremely powerful aura emanated from him again. The yellow clouds that were originally moving slowly above the North Kai King planet moved rapidly under the influence of Sun Wukong's aura. The ground of the entire North Kai King planet was shaking violently. A large deep pit suddenly appeared on the ground under Sun Wukong's feet. Goku. Seeing this, the North King Kai shouted at Sun Wukong. If Sun Wukong continued on this trend, his North King planet would most likely be demolished. After hearing this, Sun Wukong still did not stop increasing his aura. Because the aura emitted by Sun Wukong was too strong, Gurgly was blown directly into the sky. At this moment, Sun Wukong's hair grew to his waist, his eyebrows disappeared and his brow bones were close to his eye sockets. Dark green pupils appeared in the originally single light green eyeballs, and the golden flames on his body turned into light and fixed, and a large amount of golden lightning emanated from his body. This is exactly the third stage of Super Saiyan. Ha! After Sun Wukong completed his transformation, he immediately released the energy gathered outside his body. An extremely huge gust of wind appeared and swept around. Even though North Kai and Babris hid behind the house, their bodies were still blown up like cloves. Fortunately, the gust of wind did not last long, otherwise they would have been blown out of North Kai's planet like Gurgly. When the gust of wind stopped, North Kai immediately breathed a sigh of relief and said, "Phew, it finally stopped. Success." Sun Wukong said happily when he saw that he had successfully transformed into Super Saiyan 3. After seeing this, King Kai looked up at the sky as if he suddenly thought of something. Gregly. As soon as he finished speaking, Gregly flew out from the yellow cloud and flew down. Seeing that Gregly was fine, the North King was relieved and walked towards Son Goku. Congratulations, Wukong, your strength has improved a lot. After hearing this, Sun Wukong nodded and said, "But Lord Kai, it's been a long time since I fought a strong guy." A powerful guy. Yes. Sun Wukong nodded. Sun Wukong was a battle fanatic, so he naturally hoped to find a powerful guy to fight. "Then you won't look for Roger," said the King of the North. "No, there is a huge gap in strength between Roger and I. I can't beat him at all. I want to find an opponent who is equally matched with me." "In that case, why don't you just go find Vegeta?" "But I should be stronger than him now." "This is not okay, that is not okay, what do you want?" After hearing this, the North King was a little angry. "Lord Kai, I just want to find an opponent as strong as me." "In that case, you might as well let Roger help you find it." "Good idea." In the evening, Roger came back from the 6th universe and saw Sun Wukong, who came to look for him. "Roger, you're back." Sun Wukong smiled and greeted Roger, who had returned. After hearing this, Roger nodded and said, "Wukong, why are you here today?" "Roger, I want to ask you a favor." "What help?" Roger asked. "I want to fight an opponent who is as strong as me." "Equal strength?" "Yes." Sun Wukong nodded. "So, Goku, how strong are you now?" "I can now transform into Super Saiyan 3, said Sun Wukong. Super Saiyan 3. Sun Wukong nodded again. Seeing this, Roger thought secretly in his heart. With Sun Wukong's current strength, the one who matches his strength is Majin Buu. He can release Majin Buu, but he can't guarantee that he can definitely subdue Majin Buu. Of course, the most important thing is that King Kai has a deep hatred for him. "How's it going, Roger?" "I don't have this yet, but if I do, I will find you as soon as possible." "Okay, in that case, I'll go back first." Roger nodded. Seeing this, Son Goku teleported away from Roger's house. Seeing Son Goku disappear, Roger hesitated in his heart whether to release Majin Buu. But suddenly, he thought of the Tournament of Power. This Tournament of Power is a conference that must be held in Dragon Ball Super. Why must it be held? At the end of Dragon Ball Super, the Great Priest told Son Goku and the others very clearly that the King of All originally planned to clear the 8 universes. Because the King of All believed that people could change, he gave their 8 universes a chance and held the Tournament of Power. The reason why Roger thought of the Tournament of Power was because he wanted to comprehend the King of All's law of clearance. With his extraordinary comprehension, he should be able to comprehend it as long as the King of All uses it once. However, he is too strong now, and he doesn't know if he can participate in the Tournament of Power. If not, Majin Buu will become a very strong candidate. The next morning, after having breakfast, Roger used the magic crystal ball to divine where Babidi was. According to the original Dragon Ball, Babidi should have been born at this time. In the 7th universe, on a white spaceship. A man with yellow skin, short stature, wearing a shirt, light blue pants, an M-shaped belt around his waist, and an orange cloak behind him. At this time, he was standing proudly in the main control room, looking at the universe outside the window. This man was Babidi. Although he was born not long ago, he has now subdued Pei Pei and Yi Jie. Next, he plans to go to the demon realm of the earth to subdue the king of the demon realm, Dabura. As long as Dabura is subdued, he will be one step closer to his ambition to resurrect Majin Buu and rule the entire universe. Just when Babidi was imagining the future, a figure suddenly appeared in the spaceship. And this man was Roger. "You, who are you?" Seeing this, Pei Pei, who was standing next to Babidi, asked Roger with a vigilant look. After hearing this, Roger immediately flashed to Pei Pei's side and knocked him unconscious with a palm. "Pa!" Babidi was shocked. "Who are you?" "My name is Roger." "Roger, what do you want to do by coming to my place?" "Kill you." Babidi snorted coldly after hearing this. "Roger, don't be so arrogant, this is my territory." Roger smiled, and immediately came to Babidi's side and knocked him unconscious with a palm. The soldiers standing outside heard the movement inside and immediately ran in from outside and saw Babidi lying on the ground. Lord Babidi." Roger glanced at the soldiers. The soldiers were immediately scared away by Roger's gaze. After seeing this, Roger immediately used soul searching on Babidi. Soul searching is a trick created by Roger himself. It can check the memory of the other party's soul through the soul. However, this trick consumes a lot of energy. As Roger performed soul searching, Babidi's past memories appeared in front of Roger like a movie. After seeing this, the soldiers standing around did not dare to step forward. After a while, Roger's soul searching ended. Roger raised his right index finger, and a golden ray shot out from his fingertips and hit Babidi's head. Babidi screamed in pain, and his body suddenly lost its breath. After seeing this, the soldiers standing around were immediately scared out of the main control room. At this time, Roger suddenly recited a spell. The soldiers controlled by Babidi immediately regained their consciousness. "Where is this place? Why am I here?" Seeing this, Roger recited a spell again, allowing those soldiers who had regained their sanity to be under his control. This was Babidi's evil magic. "Come in, all of you. It's Master Roger." After hearing this, the soldier standing outside the main control room immediately walked into the main control room. "Sir Roger, what can I do for you? You continue to drive this spaceship to the Earth." "Okay, Roger." Seeing this, Roger teleported away from the Babidi spaceship and arrived at the North Kai King planet. "Roger." Sun Wukong shouted to Roger happily when he saw him coming. Roger nodded after hearing this. "Roger, why are you here?" Sun Wukong asked. "Didn't you say yesterday that you wanted to fight with a tough guy?" "Yeah, could it be that you have found someone as strong as me?" "Yeah," Roger nodded. "So where is he now?" "I can tell you, but you have to keep this a secret from King Kai." "Keep it secret from Lord Kaioshin," Roger said, glancing at the North Kai King who was standing in the distance and eavesdropping. The North Kai King saw Roger and saw that he was eavesdropping, and his expression immediately became a little embarrassed and turned his body away. "Yes, you will know as long as you come to the Earth with me." "Okay," Sun Wukong nodded. Seeing this, Roger teleported and brought Sun Wukong back to Earth. "Keep it secret from Lord Kai." Kai Shin saw the two people leave, and immediately thought about it. In a cave on Earth, there is a pink giant egg. And this giant egg is the Majin Buu giant egg. Suddenly, two figures appeared in the cave. These two people are Son Goku and Roger. "Roger, where is that awesome guy you were talking about?" "Look, it's right in front of you." In front. After hearing this, Sun Wukong immediately looked towards the pink dome in front of him. "Roger, you are not talking about this giant egg, are you? Yeah, Roger laughed. But it's just an egg, how can it fight me? It's an egg now, but it won't be one soon. Will it not be in a while? Sun Wukong looked puzzled after hearing this. Roger said, holding up the Majin Buu giant egg with both hands, and carried the Majin Buu giant egg outside. Sun Wukong also followed Roger outside. Roger, what are you going to do? You'll know in a minute. Roger said, and immediately recited a magic that Sun Wukong couldn't understand. When the magic was finished, the Majin Buu dome immediately split into two halves. A ball of pink gas floated out of the dome and flew into the sky. The egg broke into two halves, but there seemed to be nothing inside the egg. Look at the sky. In the sky, Sun Wukong looked up at the sky and saw a huge pink gas in the sky, condensing into a human shape. This is Majin Buu. Majin Buu. Yes, you will fight with him later. Be careful with the tentacles on his head. The light emitted by the tentacles can turn people into candies. Also, the liquid that falls from his body can wrap around people and absorb them. Liquid, you will know when you fight him later. Yes, Sun Wukong nodded. At this moment, a man with pink skin, fat body, wearing a black vest on the upper body, white trousers on the lower body, an M-shaped belt around the waist, and a long tentacle on his head appeared. This man is Majin Buu. Woohoo woohoo. Because he was so happy to regain his freedom, Majin Buu danced and cheered in the sky. This guy is really an interesting guy. At the same time, because the aura of Majin Buu was too strong, the Dragon Ball Z warriors on the entire Earth could feel the aura of Majin Buu. What on earth happened? Why did such a scary aura suddenly appear on Earth? Krillin, who was training on Kame Island, said after sensing the terrifying aura of Majin Buu. I don't know. After hearing this, Master Kame shook his head solemnly. The Kaioshin realm. At this moment, the East Kaioshin was looking towards the earth with his whole body trembling. Demon, Majin Buu, this is Majin Buu's aura. What? Jebet, who was standing nearby, was shocked when he heard this. Majin Buu. Yes, you are right. I will never forget it in my life. But Majin Buu was clearly sealed, so how could he suddenly be resurrected? Could it be that Babidi that Roger mentioned resurrected him? I don't know, but this is the only explanation that makes sense now. Then Lord Kaioshin, what should we do next? Let's find Roger first. Although Majin Buu is very powerful, I think only Roger can save the entire universe now. Yes, Jebet nodded. At this moment, the voice of the North King suddenly came to their ears. Lord Kaioshin, Roger just came over to me. Roger came to you. Yes, and he also brought Sun Wukong back to Earth. Sun Wukong. Wait, why did he bring Sun Wukong back to Earth? I think it might be related to Majin Buu. Majin Buu, could it be that it was Roger who resurrected Majin Buu? I'm not particularly sure about this. On Earth, Majin Buu cheered for a while, then his body quickly fell from midair to the ground, looking at Roger and said, Did you bring me back to life? Roger nodded. So you resurrected me, what do you want me to do for you? It's very simple, all you have to do is fight him. Oh, after hearing this, Majin Buu immediately looked towards Son Goku. Gurgle. At this time, Majin Buu's stomach suddenly rumbled. Roger saw it and immediately took out an open universal capsule and threw it forward. Bang! With a puff of white smoke, 3 tables of food appeared. Majin Buu smelled the aroma of the food and immediately drooled. Are these all for me? Yes, Roger nodded. Seeing this, Majin Buu immediately walked to the table, picked up the food on the table and gobbled it up. Soon, the food on the 3 tables was eaten. Have you not eaten for a long time? Sun Wukong saw that Majin Buu was eating faster than him and said. Yes, Majin Buu nodded. But the food was too little and I didn't feel full at all. You guys fight first, and after the battle, I will give you more food. Good. After hearing this, Majin Buu immediately looked towards Son Goku. At this moment, 3 figures flew over from a distance. These 3 people were Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz. Call out, tread. The 3 of them fell to the ground almost at the same time. Sun Wukong. Vegeta. After hearing this, Vegeta snorted coldly and looked at Majin Buu. Kakarot, who is this guy? His name is Majin Buu, and he's the opponent I'm going to fight next. Majin Buu. Goku nodded. Seeing this, Vegeta immediately looked at Roger. Without thinking too much, this Majin Buu must have been found by Roger for Goku. Roger has always been more partial to Goku. Really? Then can you let me fight him first? After hearing this, Sun Wukong immediately became hesitant. It's okay Goku, just let Vegeta fight him. Roger said. Well then, Vegeta snorted coldly and looked at Majin Buu. Oh, so now you want me to fight him first? Majin Buu asked Roger. Yes, Roger nodded. Seeing this, Majin Buu immediately looked at Vegeta. After seeing this, Vegeta clenched his hands, and an extremely amazing aura emanated from his whole body, and he quickly rose up. Ah! With a huge roar, Vegeta transformed into Super Saiyan 2. After Vegeta transformed into Super Saiyan 2, he did not stop his breath, but continued to raise his breath upwards. Boom! The surrounding ground shook violently under the influence of Vegeta's breath. The large amount of breath emanating from Vegeta's body raised huge dust on the ground. After seeing this, Sun Wukong and the others covered their eyes with their hands. Majin Buu narrowed his eyes, and his body and face were like lake water, with ripples blown one after another. After a while, Vegeta raised his whole body's breath to the strongest state he could reach now. Vegeta roared loudly and released the air gathered outside his body. An extremely violent gust of wind appeared, raising an extremely huge dust on both sides of Vegeta. Prince Vegeta, Raditz and Nappa were shocked. They didn't expect that Vegeta would use all his strength right from the start. Seeing this, Majin Buu looked calm. At this moment, Vegeta raised his head and looked at Majin Buu. Okay, let's get started, shall we? Yes, Majin Buu nodded. Upon seeing this, Vegeta's figure flashed, and in the blink of an eye he came in front of Majin Buu, and his fists were as fast as lightning, attacking Majin Buu. Majin Buu was startled, and before his body could react, Vegeta's right fist hit Majin Buu's chin heavily. Majin Buu's head immediately tilted upward. Vegeta roared loudly, and his fists were as fast as a storm, hitting Majin Buu's fat body. Under Vegeta's fierce attack, Majin Buu immediately let out loud screams. Many fist marks from Vegeta appeared on Majin Buu's body. Just when the two were fighting, two figures suddenly appeared in the distance between them. These two people were East Kai and Jepitel. It's Majin Buu. East Kai said as he looked at the beaten Majin Buu. Lord Kaioshin, is that fat guy Majin Buu? Jepitel said after hearing this. Yes, East Kai nods. Let's go find Roger now and ask him what's going on. Jebi nodded. After that, the two of them immediately flew towards Son Goku and the others. Son Goku, Lord Kaioshin. As soon as the voice fell, the two came in front of Son Goku and Roger. East Kaioshin. Roger, what's going on? Majin Buu, why did he appear? I let him out, Roger said. At this point, Roger had nothing to hide. You, then why did you let him out? I see a more distant future. The more distant future, Roger nodded. I have defeated Babidi, and I have taken control of the magic that sealed Majin Buu from him. You mean, you can seal Majin Buu again? Roger nodded again. I will explain to you after they finish fighting. East Kai King God listened, thought for a moment and nodded. At this moment, Vegeta raised his right foot and kicked forward, hitting Majin Buu's abdomen hard. Bang! With an extremely violent sound, Majin Buu's body was like a thread, and it hit a mountain behind him fiercely. The mountain was immediately stirred up by a large piece of sand and dust. I'm angry. An angry voice came from the dust, and Majin Buu climbed out of the mountain, with a lot of white air coming out of the hole on his head. The punch marks and injuries that Vegeta had hit him on quickly recovered. East Kai and the others were shocked when they saw this. Vegeta's eyes narrowed slightly when he saw this. Hee. Suddenly, Majin Buu laughed evilly, and his eyes, which were like slits, widened. East Kai looked at Majin Buu with his eyes wide open, and was immediately frightened. Majin Buu with his eyes wide open looked very evil. Not only East Kai, but Raditz and the others were also frightened by the look in Majin Buu's eyes. They did not expect that the contrast between Majin Buu with his eyes open and Majin Buu without his eyes open would be so great. Bang! At this moment, with a sound of breaking through the air, Majin Buu quickly rushed towards Vegeta. Vegeta clenched his fists, ready to fight at any time. But at this moment, the figure of Majin Buu who was rushing towards him suddenly disappeared. Vegeta was startled and quickly turned around. At the moment when Vegeta turned around, a huge fist immediately hit him. Vegeta blocked with his arms forward and stepped back a few steps. Majin Buu took a few steps forward and continued to hit Vegeta with his fists as fast as lightning. Vegeta resisted Majin Buu's attack while retreating. Bang! After resisting for a while, Vegeta was hit on the right face by Majin Buu's right fist because his hands were not as fast as Majin Buu, and he let out a loud scream. Prince Vegeta, Raditz and Nappa were shocked. They didn't expect that Vegeta, who was at full strength, would be suppressed by Majin Buu. Call out, bang, bang, bang. With a series of extremely shocking sounds, Majin Buu's fists hit Vegeta's face and body like a storm. Vegeta screamed loudly and kept retreating under Majin Buu's fierce attack. At this time, Majin Buu raised his right foot and kicked Vegeta's abdomen hard. Vegeta screamed loudly, and his body fell like a thread onto a mountain behind him. The mountain immediately raised a large piece of dust. Prince Vegeta, Raditz and Nappa saw this and immediately felt a little worried. At this moment, Son Gohan, Luo Feng, Krillin, Yamcha, Jiaozi, Tien Shinhan, and Piccolo flew over from a distance. Call out, tread. 6 people fell to the ground together. Krillin, Yamcha, Tien Shinhan, Piccolo, Gohan. Sun Wukong was shocked. He didn't expect Krillin and the others to come. Krillin smiled and nodded after hearing this. Senior Brother Wukong. Klin, why are you here? Brother Wukong, we feel that you have a very strong energy here, so we are curious to come and take a look. I know that we may not be able to help, but we still want to come and take a look to see how big the gap is between us and Brother Wukong. Sun Wukong nodded and looked at Vegeta. At this time, the dust around Vegeta dissipated, and Vegeta's body crashed into the mountain behind him in a big letter position. How about it, do you still want to continue fighting with me? Majin Buu looked at Vegeta, who looked miserable, and said. East Kai was shocked. This Majin Buu was so polite. In his memory, Majin Buu was fearless, and even Babidi, who created him, was not taken seriously. Could it be that he was afraid of Roger? This thought suddenly occurred to East Kai. Roger was not only powerful, but also knew how to seal Majin Buu's magic. Just as East Kai was thinking, Vegeta climbed out of the mountain and gasped for breath. When his breathing became more stable, Vegeta immediately sneered and said. Majin Buu is indeed very powerful, but I haven't been defeated by you so easily. Really? Vegeta said, and he jumped up into the sky. Vegeta shouted, and condensed a large amount of golden energy waves with his hands, attacking Majin Buu. Majin Buu saw the energy waves falling like rain, and immediately stepped back and dodged. Boom, boom, boom. With huge explosions, all the energy waves that Vegeta had sent to the ground exploded on the ground. For a moment, the ground was filled with thick smoke, flames shot up into the sky, and the violent sounds of explosions were everywhere. Vegeta gritted his teeth and attacked Majin Buu, who was dodging backwards with both hands. Seeing this, Majin Buu stomped his feet on the ground and rushed towards Vegeta in the sky as fast as lightning. Seeing this, Vegeta immediately stopped the energy wave attack and rushed up to him. Call out, bang, bang, bang. Soon, the two came in front of each other, punching and kicking as fast as lightning, hitting each other. However, because Majin Buu's strength and speed were both higher than Vegeta, Vegeta could not keep up with Majin Buu after a few punches. Call out, bang, bang, bang. With a series of extremely violent sounds, Majin Buu punched Vegeta's face and body with both fists. Vegeta screamed loudly, and his body was covered with bruises. Prince Vegeta, Raditz and Nappa were shocked. Bang! At this moment, Majin Buu used both hands to hammer Vegeta's back. Ah! Vegeta screamed loudly, and his body was hit hard on the ground like a thread. A lot of dust was immediately smashed on the ground. After a while, when the dust on the ground dispersed, a huge deep pit immediately appeared on the ground. Vegeta's body was lying in the center of the pit. But his body was no longer in Super Saiyan state. Prince Vegeta. Nappa saw this and immediately flew towards Vegeta. Prince Vegeta, how are you, Prince Vegeta? But, after hearing this, Vegeta looked at Majin Buu unwillingly. He didn't expect that there was someone else in the world who could defeat him besides Son Goku and Roger. After seeing this, Majin Buu was too lazy to pay attention to him, but looked at Son Goku. Well, the fight between him and me is over. Didn't you just say you wanted to fight me? Sun Wukong nodded and took a few steps forward. Goku. East Kai King God saw this and immediately became a little nervous. At this moment, Sun Wukong clenched his hands, and an extremely amazing aura emanated from his body, and he quickly rose up. Ah! With a huge roar, Sun Wukong transformed into Super Saiyan 2. Senior brother Wukong. Dad. Kakarot. Sun Wukong. Krillin and the others were all surprised by Sun Wukong's powerful aura. At this moment, Sun Wukong lowered his body like a handkerchief, and his aura surged upwards. The ground within a radius of thousands of miles was violently shaken by Sun Wukong's aura. The clouds in the sky, which had been moving slowly, suddenly moved quickly. Ah! Sun Wukong roared loudly, and his hair grew to his waist, his eyebrows disappeared and his brow bones were close to his eye sockets. Dark green pupils appeared in his originally single light green eyeballs, and the golden flames on his body turned into light and fixed. Lightning swirled around his body as he emitted energy. This was the third stage of Super Saiyan. What? Krillin and the others were shocked when they felt the aura of Sun Wukong's transformation into Super Saiyan 3. Vegeta saw that Sun Wukong had cultivated to Super Saiyan 3 before him, and he gritted his teeth in anger. He had finally caught up with Sun Wukong before, but he didn't expect to be surpassed by Sun Wukong again. Oh! Majin Buu looked at Son Goku's transformation and said in surprise. What is your transformation? Why is it different from his? My transformation is called Super Saiyan 3, and Vegeta's transformation just now is called Super Saiyan 2. Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 2, so you are stronger than him. Sun Wukong nodded. Well, even though you're stronger, I can still defeat you quickly. Is that so? Sun Wukong smiled after hearing this. But I'm not someone who can be defeated so easily. Is that so? In that case, just come over here. Come on. Do you mean to let me attack first? Yes. Majin Buu nodded. Okay, but don't regret it. Sun Wukong said, and rushed towards Majin Buu as fast as lightning. Soon, Sun Wukong rushed in front of Majin Buu, and his fists were as fast as lightning, attacking Majin Buu. Majin Buu dodged while raising his hands to resist Sun Wukong's attack and retreated. Sun Wukong yelled angrily, raised his right foot and kicked forward, hitting Majin Buu hard in the abdomen. Majin Buu was immediately kicked hundreds of meters away. Majin Buu stomped his feet hard on the ground and soon stopped on the ground. Do you have a set? Sun Wukong smiled and was about to rush towards Majin Buu, but he saw Majin Buu stretched out his arms and grabbed him. Sun Wukong was startled and quickly dodged to the sides. After Majin Buu's arms were dodged, they returned like a rubber band and wrapped around Sun Wukong's feet. What? Sun Wukong was shocked. At this time, Majin Buu, who was holding Sun Wukong's legs, retracted his arms and rushed towards Sun Wukong like a rocket. Before Sun Wukong could dodge, he was hit on the forehead by Majin Buu's head. Sun Wukong screamed loudly and fell backwards. Sun Wukong yelled angrily, and his body quickly stopped in midair. With his hands as fast as lightning, he attacked Majin Buu. Majin Buu raised his hands upwards, trying to flip his whole body up. But Sun Wukong's feet were as thin as pine trees, and he had no way to flip Sun Wukong's body up at once. At this time, Sun Wukong's fists had already hit Majin Buu's face and body heavily. Under Sun Wukong's fierce attack, Majin Buu screamed loudly and his body kept retreating backwards. He also took back the hands that were holding Sun Wukong's feet from Sun Wukong. Seeing this, Sun Wukong raised his right foot and kicked Majin Buu hard in the face. Bang! With an extremely violent sound, Majin Buu's body flew backwards like a thread. Sun Wukong roared loudly, and fired a large amount of golden energy waves from his hands, hitting Majin Buu. Call out! Boom! 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 With huge explosions, the golden energy waves that Sun Wukong attacked hit Majin Buu and exploded in the sky. For a moment, the sky was filled with thick smoke and flames, and there were violent explosions everywhere. Seeing this, Sun Wukong immediately stopped the attack. After a while, when the smoke in the sky dissipated, Majin Buu stood in front of Sun Wukong with an embarrassed look on his face. I'm angry. Majin Buu shouted angrily, and a lot of white gas came out of the hole on his head. After that, Majin Buu rushed towards Son Goku at an extremely fast speed. Son Goku's eyes narrowed slightly, and he also rushed towards Majin Buu. Call out. Bang bang bang. In just a blink of an eye, the two men came to each other at the same time, fighting fist to fist and foot to foot. Immediately, there were bursts of loud noises in the sky. What a fierce battle! Tien Shinhan was shocked as he watched the battle in the sky. Tien Shinhan, can you see them fighting? Krillin asked. When they stopped, you could just barely see something. Really? At this moment, Majin Buu glared, and a fierce aura emanated from his eyes, causing Sun Wukong to take a step back. Sun Wukong gritted his teeth, jumped to Majin Buu's face, and kicked Majin Buu's right side with his right foot. Bang! Majin Buu's face tilted to the right, and his body was kicked to the right. But soon, he turned his body and looked at Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong smiled, and quickly rushed in front of Majin Buu, and attacked forward with both fists. Majin Buu raised his hands to block while retreating. Sun Wukong was attacking while attacking Majin Buu. Golden lightning flashed from his hands from time to time. After a while, Sun Wukong clenched his right fist and hit Majin Buu's chin hard. Majin Buu's head immediately tilted upward. Sun Wukong roared loudly, and fired a golden flame from both hands, hitting Majin Buu's body. Bang! With a loud sound, the golden flame hit Majin Buu. Majin Buu's body was burned by the golden flame, and a lot of black smoke came out of his body. But soon, the burned parts of Majin Buu's body recovered. Sun Wukong was shocked. What a strong recovery ability. Just at this moment, the tentacles on Majin Buu's head suddenly shot a pink light at Sun Wukong. This light was the transformation light. After seeing it, Sun Wukong hurriedly dodged. Majin Buu yelled angrily, and in the blink of an eye, he came behind Sun Wukong and attacked Sun Wukong with his hands. Sun Wukong's figure flashed, and when Majin Buu was about to hit him with both hands, he teleported in front of him. Call out. Majin Buu's hands hit nothing. Ah! Sun Wukong roared loudly, and kicked with his right foot towards Majin Buu's abdomen. Majin Buu thrust his body forward, expanding outward like a balloon. Sun Wukong was startled, and kicked into Majin Buu's abdomen with his right foot. Majin Buu's abdomen was like a swamp, slowly letting Sun Wukong's whole body slowly sink into it. Dad! Seeing this, Sun Gohan immediately became worried about Son Goku. Brother Wukong, Krillin and the others were also nervous when they saw this. But, Sun Wukong shouted angrily, and a golden lightning suddenly appeared on his forehead. Boom! With a huge explosion, Sun Wukong's body suddenly emitted a large amount of golden energy, which exploded in Majin Buu's body. A big hole was soon blown out of Majin Buu's body. Seeing this, Sun Wukong said to Majin Buu with an apologetic look on his face. I'm sorry, Majin Buu, I just had no choice but to blow up your stomach. Majin Buu took a deep breath after hearing this. A lot of flesh immediately grew on his body, filling up the big hole in his body in an instant. Sun Wukong was stunned. Although he knew that Majin Buu had a strong recovery ability, he didn't expect it to be so strong. At this time, Roger sent a voice message to Sun Wukong. Wukong, this guy's physical physique is close to immortal, just go ahead and attack him. Near immortality, After hearing this, Sun Wukong looked at Majin Buu with excitement. Since the opponent was difficult to kill, he had nothing to worry about. Just as Sun Wukong was thinking, Majin Buu suddenly spit out a pink energy wave from his mouth and attacked Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong immediately dodged to the side. Majin Buu rushed forward and slammed his head forward. Bang! Majin Buu's head hit Sun Wukong's chest hard. Sun Wukong was immediately knocked back a distance. Sun Wukong gritted his teeth, and quickly rushed in front of Majin Buu, and attacked forward with both fists. Majin Buu clenched his fists and fought with Sun Wukong. Call out. Bang, bang, bang. The two of them moved quickly in the sky while fighting each other. After the two of them fought for a while, Son Goku kicked Majin Buu from the sky with his right foot. With a loud bang, Majin Buu's body was kicked down to the ground like a thread. A lot of dust was immediately kicked out around Majin Buu. Whoosh! Sun Wukong gasped and fell quickly from midair to the ground. Although the third stage of Super Saiyan is very powerful, it also consumes a lot of physical strength. Call out. Just as Sun Wukong landed, a spherical object flew out from the sand. And this spherical object was Majin Buu. Sun Wukong was startled and quickly dodged to the right. Boom! Majin Buu's body hit the ground. But he quickly bounced back to Sun Wukong through the ground. Sun Wukong jumped up with both feet and jumped into the sky. Bang! Majin Buu's body crashed into a mountain in front of him. Ah! Sun Wukong roared loudly, and fired a large amount of energy waves from his hands towards the mountain. Call out! Boom! 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 With huge explosions, a large amount of energy waves hit the mountain. The mountain was soon blown to pieces. Majin Buu hit the ground with force and rushed towards Son Goku like a pinball. Call out! Bang! 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 The energy waves launched by Son Goku hit Majin Buu, but did not cause any damage to the charging Majin Buu. Seeing that Majin Buu was about to charge, Son Goku immediately stopped the energy wave attack and raised his hands downward to block it. Bang! Majin Buu's body hit Son Goku's hands. Under the strong impact of Majin Buu's body, Son Goku's body went up. However, he still made Majin Buu's body stop. Call out! Majin Buu moved his body downwards, returning to his human form. Son Goku gasped and looked at Majin Buu. Son Goku gritted his teeth, quickly moved in front of Majin Buu, and punched forward with both fists. Majin Buu clenched his hands and fought with Son Goku. Call out! Bang! 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 There was a loud noise in the sky. Bang! After the two fought for a while, Sun Wukong punched Majin Buu in the face with his right fist, knocking him out. Sun Wukong took this opportunity to quickly put his hands together and said, Kamehameha Qigong Wave. A deep blue chi wave condensed from Sun Wukong's hands and hit Majin Buu. Boom! With an extremely loud explosion, Kamehameha Qigong hit Majin Buu and exploded in the sky. An extremely huge blue storm appeared and swept around. A large amount of smoke from the explosion immediately appeared in the sky. Whoosh! At this time, Son Goku's physical strength could no longer maintain the third stage of Super Saiyan and he changed back to normal. After a while, after the smoke in the sky dissipated, a large number of fragments of Majin Buu's body floated in the sky. East Kai. Eliminate. Eliminate it. I don't know. Jupiter shook his head. At this moment, the fragments of Majin Buu floating in the sky wriggled and turned into small Majin Buu. Krillin and the others were shocked. It was the first time they saw a monster like Majin Buu. Call out! All the small Majin Buu flew together and kneaded into Majin Buu like dough. Seeing this, Sun Wukong shook his head helplessly. Although the third stage of Super Saiyan is powerful, the transformation consumes too much energy. Coupled with Majin Buu's super recovery ability, he is indeed no match for him. You changed back, or you not going to fight anymore? Majin Buu said to Sun Wukong, who had changed back to his normal state. Sun Wukong nodded after hearing this. Majin Buu, I lost this battle. Majin Buu was very happy after hearing this, and he danced in the sky. I won, I won. Majin Buu said, and his body fell from midair and flew towards Roger. The East Kai looked at the flying Majin Buu and was immediately frightened to the side. Although it has been a long time since the West Kai and his men were killed, Majin Buu has always been their lingering nightmare. I forgot to ask you just now, what should I call you? Majin Buu asked Roger. My name is Roger, you can just call me Roger. Roger. Roger nodded. You just said that if I defeated him, I would get more food. Looking at the obedient Majin Buu, East Kaioshin doubted whether he was the same Majin Buu. After hearing this, Roger immediately took out an open universal capsule and threw it far away. Bang! With a puff of white smoke, 5 tables of food appeared on the ground. Seeing this, Majin Buu immediately ran to the table and started eating. Seeing this, East Kaioshin immediately walked to Roger. Roger, you said earlier that you saw further into the future, what is that about? I saw the further future and saw the Great Kai. Great Kaioshin-sama. Yes, Majin Buu didn't look like this at the beginning, right? Yes, Majin Buu once absorbed South Kai and Grand Kai. Do you still want to meet Grand Kaioshin? But, hasn't he been absorbed by Majin Buu? Although he was absorbed by Majin Buu, his consciousness still remained in Majin Buu's body. Consciousness. I can revive the Grand Kai's consciousness and let you see him again. Great Kai. East Kai was hesitant after hearing this. Of course he wanted to see the Great Kai again, but he was also afraid that Roger would not destroy Majin Buu, which would pose a threat to the universe. Roger, although I really want to meet the Great Kai, if you don't destroy him, will it pose a threat to the universe? After hearing this, Roger immediately laughed. Lord Kaioshin, don't worry, I will never let him do anything wrong. All right then. After hearing this, East Kaioshin thought about it and nodded. So, in that case, let's go back first. Roger nodded. Seeing this, Jebat teleported and left the earth with the East Kai King God. Dad. After the two left, Luo Feng immediately ran to Roger. Roger nodded. Dad, where did this Majin Buu come from? He came out from the seal. After seeing this, Krillin and the others immediately walked up to Sun Wukong and said, Brother Wukong, are you okay? It's okay. After hearing this, Sun Wukong shook his head. Prince Gita, the battle seems to be over, so shall we go back now? Vegeta snorted coldly and flew into the sky. Nappa and the others followed him immediately. After talking with Krillin and the others for a while, Sun Wukong immediately walked to Majin Buu. Majin Buu, I hope we can fight again next time. Majin Buu nodded slightly after hearing this. At this moment, Roger came to his side and used healing magic to heal the wound on Son Goku's body. After feeling the wound, Son Goku immediately thanked Roger. Thank you, Roger. Roger nodded slightly. Then Klin, if you don't have anything else to do, why don't you go back? Okay, Brother Goku. Krillin said, and immediately left with Yamcha and the others. Then Wuhan, do you want to go back with me? Sun Wukong looked at Sun Wuhan standing beside him and said, Dad, please go back first. I want to continue playing with Luo Feng. All right then, Sun Wukong said, and left immediately. Seeing that Son Goku and the others had left, Roger immediately looked towards Majin Buu. Although Majin Buu was now submissive to him on the surface, he was probably still unwilling to obey in his heart. Dad, after Majin Buu is full, can you let Majin Buu play with us? At this moment, Luo Feng suddenly said to Roger. No way. Roger shook his head after hearing this. Why, I want to fight him too. Because he hasn't completely listened to me yet. Haven't you listened to your father yet? Luo Feng looked puzzled after hearing this. After a while, Majin Buu finished eating all the food. Roger. How about it, Majin Buu, are you full? I haven't eaten enough, but I'm not hungry anymore. Majin Buu said, touching his stomach. After Roger heard this, a red light suddenly flashed from his eyes. As the red light flashed, Majin Buu suddenly covered his head with his hands and screamed. You come out. Majin Buu roared loudly and spat out a ball of black liquid from his mouth. The liquid was spit out and immediately turned into the skinny Majin Buu. This is exactly what Majin Buu's evil thoughts are. Another Majin Buu appeared. Son Gohan and Luo Feng, who were standing next to Roger, were shocked. Dad, what's going on? Luo Feng asked Roger. This is Majin Buu's evil thoughts. Evil thoughts. Roger nodded. At the same time, Krillin and the others who left also felt the aura of the evil Majin Buu. What is going on? Why did another aura of Majin Buu appear? Have no idea. So should we go back? No need, I think it should be fine. In the Kaioshin realm, East Kaioshin and Jupiter also felt the aura of the evil Majin Buu. Lord Kaioshin, what is going on? Why did another Majin Buu's aura appear? I don't know, but I think Roger should be able to solve it. Even Son Goku can fight Majin Buu on equal terms, let alone Roger. On Earth, after the appearance of evil Majin Buu and evil Majin Buu looked at each other as if they were old enemies. However, evil Majin Buu was a little afraid of Roger, so he did not attack Majin Buu immediately. However, his failure to attack did not mean that Majin Buu would not attack him. Ah! With a loud shout, Majin Buu rushed towards evil Majin Buu as fast as lightning. Evil Majin Buu snorted coldly and rushed towards Majin Buu as well. Soon, the two came in front of each other and fought fist to fist and foot to foot. Huge clouds of dust were immediately raised around the two. Son Gohan, Majin Buu and evil Majin Buu are fighting. Luo Feng, who do you think is stronger between the two? I don't know. Luo Feng shook his head. Call out. Bang, bang, bang. Just as the two chatted, Majin Buu and evil Majin Buu had already flown from the ground to the sky to fight. Suddenly, both of them condensed a pink energy in their hands at the same time and hit each other. Bang! With a dazzling white light, the two were blown away by the huge impact generated by the collision of the energy wave. But soon, the two stopped in the sky and rushed towards each other again. Call out! Bang bang bang! The two of them moved quickly in the sky while fighting each other in the sky. Bang! After the two of them fought for a while, the evil Majin Buu punched with his right fist and knocked Majin Buu down from the sky. It seems that the evil Majin Buu is more powerful, Luo Feng. Sun Gohan said as he looked at the knocked down Majin Buu. Luo Feng nodded. Majin Buu shouted angrily, and a pink light shone from the tentacles on his head, attacking the evil Majin Buu. This light was the transformation light. After seeing this, the evil Majin Buu also emitted a transformation light from the tentacles on his head, which collided with the transformation light of Majin Buu. Bang! The two transformation lights collided violently in the sky. The two men gritted their teeth and used all their strength to try to hit each other with their transformation lights. Their collision also determined the outcome of the next battle. After a stalemate, the evil Majin Buu standing in the sky pushed back Majin Buu's transformation light. After being hit by the transformation light pushed back, Majin Buu suddenly turned into a human-sized chocolate bar. Majin Buu turned into chocolate. Sun Gohan was shocked. Yes, Luo Feng nodded. Evil Majin Buu sneered, and his body fell from midair, trying to eat the chocolate-turned Majin Buu. A figure suddenly appeared in front of evil Majin Buu. This person was Roger. Seeing this, evil Majin Buu gritted his teeth and said, "Roger, are you going to stop me?" Roger nodded. "Why, I am stronger than him. I can completely replace him and give you a more capable subordinate." After hearing this, Roger shook his head. "Even if you absorb him, you will not obey me, because you don't want to be anyone's subordinate." Evil Demon Buu was shocked. He didn't understand why Roger knew what he was thinking. "Really? In that case, I have no choice but to kill you first," Evil Demon Buu said, and immediately rushed towards Roger. Soon, Evil Demon Buu rushed in front of Roger and grabbed Roger's neck with his right hand. Roger dodged to the right and used his left knee to push Evil Demon Buu's abdomen. Evil Demon Buu screamed loudly and was pushed away. At this moment, Roger clenched his hands hard, and an extremely amazing aura emanated from his body, and he quickly rose up. Ah! With a loud roar, Roger transformed into Super Saiyan Rose. The evil Demon Buu was startled. Then, he laughed as if he had thought of something. "Roger, it turns out you don't know how to seal my magic." Roger smiled. "Majin Buu, do you really want to be sealed by me?" Evil Majin Buu snorted coldly, and rushed towards Roger as fast as lightning. Roger's figure flashed, and in the blink of an eye he came in front of evil Majin Buu, and punched evil Majin Buu's chin with his right fist. Bang! With an extremely violent sound, evil Majin Buu's body was hit into the sky like a thread. Roger took this opportunity to quickly put his hands together and said, "Kamehameha." A deep blue wave of energy condensed from Roger's hands and hit the evil Majin Buu. After seeing this, the evil Majin Buu quickly stopped and raised his hands to resist Kamehameha. Boom! Kamehameha hit evil Majin Buu and pushed him into the sky. Evil Majin Buu gritted his teeth and used all his strength to block with both hands, stopping Kamehameha. Seeing this, Roger shouted and pushed forward with all his strength. Under Roger's full strength, evil Majin Buu's hands could not support him and he was pushed into the sky. Boom! Kamehameha exploded in the sky with a shocking explosion. An extremely huge blue storm appeared and swept around. A large amount of smoke from the explosion immediately appeared in the sky. No! Evil Majin Buu screamed loudly, and his body was torn into pieces by Kamehameha. After a while, when the smoke in the sky dissipated, the aura of evil Majin Buu completely disappeared. "Lord Kai, the auras of both Majin Buu have disappeared," Jepitel said after feeling the aura of the evil Majin Buu disappear. "Yes," East Kai nodded. "Earth, has it been destroyed?" Sun Gohan said when he saw that the evil Majin Buu was no longer in the sky. "I don't know, but I think it should have been destroyed." Luo Feng said, "My dad is very, very awesome." "Yes." Sun Gohan nodded. At this moment, Roger fired a pink beam of light at Majin Buu who had turned into chocolate. After the pink beam hit Majin Buu's body immediately recovered. Majin Buu was surprised when he saw his body recover. Then, he looked at Roger, who had transformed into Super Saiyan Rose, and said, "Roger, where's that guy? He has been eliminated by me." Destroyed. Roger nodded and returned his body to normal. Majin Buu, although I have released you now, I can seal you back at any time, so if you don't want to be sealed back, you must listen to me. Majin Buu nodded. First of all, you must not kill anyone while you are on Earth, nor can you hit or steal other people's things. If you want to eat something, just tell me. Majin Buu nodded repeatedly after hearing this. Then I want to eat candy. Ahem. Roger coughed after hearing this. I don't have any candy with me now. I'll get you some at noon. Oh, Majin Buu was a little disappointed after hearing this. Then you play with Luo Feng and the others first. Luo Feng. Luo Jia nodded and pointed at Luo Feng. Okay, Majin Buu said, and immediately walked towards Luo Feng and the others. Then Luo Feng, I will hand Majin Buu over to you first. Majin Buu knows nothing about the earth, you must teach him well. The two nodded. After that, they took Majin Buu and flew towards the direction of Exodus. After the three left, Roger was about to go back, and a golden light suddenly fell from the sky. When the golden light dissipated, a figure appeared inside. This person was Sarah. Roger looked at Sarah, who had suddenly arrived, and suddenly a trace of surprise appeared on his face. Sarah smiled. Long time no see, Roger. Sarah, why are you here? Why don't you welcome me? No, I'm just curious about why you came here. It's nothing actually, I just came to see you. Look at me. Yes, it was my father who asked me to come and see you. Your father, do you mean the dragon god Sarama? Yes, Sarah nodded. By the way, do you know what the relationship is between you and my father? What relationship? Don't you know? I thought you knew. My father is your senior brother. Senior brother? Could it be that he is my second senior brother? Although Roger had guessed that dragon god Salama might be his second senior brother, he did not expect that he was really his second senior brother. It seems that you already know that the high priest is your senior brother. Yeah, Roger nodded. So you came here today to tell me more than just this, right? After hearing this, Sarah looked at Roger, who was only in his 30s, and said with some difficulty in her heart, My father thinks highly of you, and he wants me to marry you. Sarah has lived for hundreds of millions of years, and Roger, who is only in his 30s, is not even a fraction of her age. Roger was shocked. Although Sarah looks good, she is many times older than him. Sarah, stop joking, I already have a wife. It's okay, human lifespan is no more than 100 years anyway. To me, it's just a blink of an eye. Sorry, I still can't accept it. Why, is it because I'm not pretty enough? No, I just think we are not suitable for each other. Sarah was furious after hearing this. She finally put down her pride and confessed to Roger today, but he rejected her. Do you think I'm too old? No. Roger shook his head after hearing this. Why, you are too strong. I will consider this matter after I become as strong as you. Is this what you said? I said, in that case, you and I will go to the Dragon God realm. What to do in Dragon God realm? I'll ask my father to guide you in your cultivation. Your father? Yes, Sarah nodded. This way your strength will improve faster. No need, I think my cultivation on Earth is fine. In that case, how about letting me help you practice? You? Yes, don't you believe in my strength? No, but wouldn't this be too much trouble? No trouble, then, okay. After hearing this, Sarah immediately conjured up a golden weight suit in front of Roger. The sixth universe, the realm of destruction. At this time, Bardos was standing on a grassy field, looking at the universe. It's strange, why hasn't Roger come today? At this moment, the staff in her hand suddenly lit up. After seeing it, Bardos immediately picked up the staff and found that it was the high priest calling, so he immediately answered the phone. Father. The high priest nodded. Dad, what do you want? Bardos. Sarah went to the seventh universe. Sarah, what was she doing in universe 7? I think it has something to do with Roger. Roger. Bardos, what do you think of Roger? Roger is fine, why are you asking this, father? I want you to marry him. Bardos was shocked. Father, what are you talking about? We angels never marry humans. I know that, but Roger's situation is a bit special. Special, yes, he is my master's new apprentice. My father's master's new disciple. Bardos had only heard of the high priest's master, but had never seen him. Yes, before my master confiscated Roger, he only accepted me and Salama as his disciples. Although Salama's strength is weaker than mine, he is also a top existence in the 12 universes. Bardos nodded. Although Roger has not fully grown up yet, judging from his current growth rate, he may surpass me and Salama. Salama may also think so, which is why she let her daughter go to the 7th universe. Bardos. Father, do you mean that the dragon god Salama wants Sereth and Roger to be together? The high priest nodded. Roger's appearance may change the universe. Roger has a supernatural understanding and unlimited potential for improvement. The high priest is worried that Roger will become the new master of the universe in the future. In this way, Salama, who wants to marry Sereth to Roger, is likely to replace him. After hearing this, Bardos was thoughtful. Bardos, if you don't want to, I'll ask Kes. Father, let me think about it. Okay, the high priest said, and immediately hung up the call with Bardos. At noon, Roger returned home and saw Luo Feng playing with Majin Buu on the grass. Dad, Luo Feng saw Roger coming back and immediately walked over with Majin Buu. Roger nodded. At this time, Bulma, who was at home, came out and said, Roger, I heard from Luo Feng that you want to let Majin Buu live in our house. No way, of course not. This guy knows nothing, how can he live in our house? That's right, let's have lunch first, and then we'll see where to arrange for him to stay. Bulma nodded. In the afternoon, Roger brought Luo Feng and Majin Buu to Pilaf's house. Pilaf was shocked when he saw Roger coming suddenly. Roger nodded. Roger, why are you here today? Here's the thing, I have someone here that I want you to help take care of. People. Pilaf immediately looked towards Majin Buu. Roger, are you talking about this fat guy? Yes, his name is Majin Buu. Roger said with a smile. Majin Buu. No, we are not babysitters, how can we take care of this guy? After hearing this, Pilaf immediately raised his hand to refuse. How about 10 million a month? 10 million, this is the care fee for you. I will reimburse all his meal expenses. 10 million for care. Pilaf was shocked. Yes, but you have to teach him common sense about the earth, and don't make him angry. Xiao Wu, don't make him angry. Yes, he is very strong. If you make him angry, he might beat him up. Beat him. After hearing this, Ashu immediately trembled. Of course, as long as you take good care of him, he probably won't hit you. King Pilaf. After hearing this, Ash and Xiao Wu immediately looked at Pilaf. Pilaf looked at the silly Majin Buu in front of him and finally gritted his teeth and agreed. Okay, I promise you. Roger smiled and took out a bank card and handed it to Pilaf. Here are 100 million. You can use them first. When the money is not enough, I will transfer more to you. 100 million. Yes, this includes your 10 million salary. Pilaf was immediately excited after hearing this. Don't worry, Roger, I will take good care of him. Roger nodded. Then Luo Feng, if you have nothing to do in the afternoon, you can teach Majin Buu some common sense. Yes, Luo Feng nodded. Seeing this, Luo Jia put his right index finger on his forehead and disappeared. The underworld. Yama King was judging the ghosts who had just arrived in the underworld today. A figure suddenly appeared. This person was Roger. Luo. Roger. Yan Mo Wang was immediately startled when he saw Roger suddenly appear. Long time no see, Lord Yama. Roger, why did you come here suddenly today? Lord Yama, the ghost of the evil Majin Buu has come to the underworld. He is here, but he has not been tried yet. Lord Yama, can you let him reincarnate on Earth and be a good person? Good person. Yeah, Roger nodded. I think there should be no problem with this. Did you come here specifically for this matter? Yes. Then Lord Yama, if you have nothing else to do, I won't disturb you from your work. Yes. Yama nodded. The 6th universe, the realm of destruction. At this time, Bardos was standing on a patch of grass with a bored look on his face. A figure suddenly appeared. This person was Roger. Roger. Bardos saw Roger and immediately showed a bit of energy on his face. Roger nodded. Roger, why didn't you come this morning? Bardos pretended not to know that Sareth had gone to the 7th universe. Something happened this morning, so I didn't come. What's the matter? After hearing this, Roger immediately told Bardos about Sareth's visit. Sareth, yes, she said she likes me. Like, the kind of like between men and women that you mentioned. Yes, so did you agree? Of course not. Why not agree? Bardos laughed. I already have a wife, and I feel like her motives for liking me are not purely innocent. Not simple. Yes, do you think that with her strength and background, she needs to like a mortal like me? It is indeed not necessary. Forget it, let's not talk about this anymore. I'll just practice. Bardos nodded. Dragon God Realm. At this time, Salama was looking at Roger through the staff in his hand. When he saw Roger and Bardos talking and laughing, he sighed helplessly in his heart. High Priest, it seems I am one step behind you again. As soon as the words fell, a golden light descended from the sky. When the light faded, a figure immediately appeared inside. This person was Sareth. Father, Roger went to the 6th universe. I know, it seems that he already knows our purpose. So, Father, what should we do next? It seems like I'm the only one who's going to meet my junior fellow apprentice. Father, are you going to see him? Yes, Sarama nodded. Time flies, and 3 days have passed in a blink of an eye. Everything was very peaceful during these 3 days. After having breakfast, Roger was about to go to the 6th universe. Suddenly, a golden light descended from the sky. When the light faded, a middle-aged man appeared inside. This man was the dragon god Salama. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.